iPhone users are kind of like try to be like bougie people, in crowd type people. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying what I'm saying, man.
You about to step on the toe.
From the black women, I see they don't have that patience like that. You know what I'm saying? But white women, they'll take it on the chin.
Well, okay. Well, this is.
Any of y'all got the Trump Bible?
Or the
shoes. The man selling. The man. Let me tell you about Trump. One thing about Trump, he's a hustler, man. That boy Trump is a hustler. He will sell anything. A shoe, a stamp, a 3-cent lamp.
He naked. He took everything from me. I went from a place of living a life like this to oatmeal cookies.
No child born out of my loins will ever be born to poverty. That's what what I'm working on right now.
And welcome back to Overflow, the Everyday People Show, y'all. It is Tuesday, a little after 7 o'clock, and I am your host, R to the L, and she is who?
Jenny.
From the block. Jenny from the block, y'all. What's going on, y'all? Thank y'all for tuning in. We ask y'all one favor. Please just share this live. Please feel free to interact with us. If you hear something you want to talk about, you got something to say, just say it. You know what I'm saying? And how y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? Be kind to the host, man. Just say how you doing. You know what I'm saying? We're just here to show y'all some love, man. That's all it is. Show y'all some love. Listen, like I said, please share this live, ma'am, sir. Share this live. That's all we asking y'all to do, share this live. You got anything you want to say?
I just hope everybody's had a good start to their week. And let's get ready.
How was your day today?
Busy. Standing around for like 3 hours, watching students take these tests, making sure nobody cheats.
Nobody. What if y'all taught them what y'all all been teaching and they ain't got to cheat?
Well,
right?
it's not so much just the students, just making sure everybody doing right.
Yeah. So what's on your mind? So what's on your mind today?
Oh my gosh. That's 1,001 things. I don't even know where to start. I don't even know where to start. Just trying to decompress from the day. There's a lot happening.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a lot.
Well, anyway, y'all, we got a nice show lined up for y'all, man. We're gonna talk about a little bit what everybody talking about. Then we're gonna talk about some more stuff that don't nobody want to talk about.
Right. Yeah.
We're gonna talk about the stuff that y'all like talking about, and we're gonna talk about the stuff that y'all don't like talking about. So we're gonna talk. First of all, we're gonna talk about Shannon Sharp and what he done got, a mess he got himself into. But we're gonna come from it from an angle of serving, holding on, picking up stuff and holding on to stuff that don't serve you. This is what happened when you pick up stuff that don't really serve you. You know what I'm saying? What we're gonna talk about it. I ain't gonna get too deep into it right now. We're gonna talk about Shannon Sharp, and we're gonna talk about the Deion Sanders family thing that's going on in the NFL. We're gonna talk a little bit about that. But like I said, we're gonna talk about it, but we're gonna talk about it from a different angle of like what's really happening here. Right. Like what's, you know what I'm saying? This is really going on. Yeah, like what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? Y'all please share this live. Tell somebody that your boy on. Listen, y'all want to come on and chop it. Y'all want to come on and talk about this topic with us. You're more than welcome to come on and chop it up with us. I will send you the link. You can come on live and talk about it. We're gonna talk about Shannon Sharp and from a different angle, not the act itself, but holding on to things that don't serve you. That is what he did. He held on to something that didn't serve him. And Deion Sanders and his family, do we have to always bow down to get what we deserve in this country? Why in 2025 are we still being told we need to shut up? We're still being told we need to shut up to get the things that we deserve, the thing that we work hard for. That's the angle on the Sanders thing I'm gonna come in. We already know what happened. We all seen what happened, and we all understand what really happened. But should we still be preaching that, okay, you need to humble yourself the way that they like you to be humble? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's the thing. So, and we also, I invited some pastors to come on and talk about a subject that I see Rock here watching. I saw his live, and he posted something about churches being bougie, and I don't want to get into it that way.
Yeah.
I want to talk about it from an angle like what is the purpose of the church in the Black community now? You know what I'm saying? Why do we have so many churches in the community that still ran down? And you talk about you serve an awesome God. You know what I'm saying? So this is the kind of angle I'm going to come at this with. I'm not dogging the church out. I asked some pastors to come on. I sent some pastors some link to come on and talk about this, because see, I'm in the street. I be in the street when I have conversation. When I go to the park or when I'm in the street, this is what people are talking about. You know what I'm saying? So also, why do people always dogging out the church?
There's a lot of people that don't go now anyway. Like,
yeah, there's a lot of people,
and it's for many reasons. So
exactly, and they have their reason. Whether their reason, that's what I'm trying to say. Why do they feel that way about the church? When I grew up in the church, we didn't feel. When I grew up in the church, we didn't feel it. We didn't dog the church out. No. We didn't feel this way about the church like people feel this way about the church. Or do they? Are they? Is it legit to feel that way? You know what I'm saying? And if it's legit to feel that way, why do people feel this way about the church? So is the church out of standing with God? Out of touch with the community? You know, so we're going to look at it from that angle. So y'all please share this live. If y'all want to come on live and chop these topics up with us, please. This is the Everyday People Show. We just hosting it. This is y'all's show. We are just hosting the show. So please tag somebody with this live. Share this live. That's all we ask y'all to do. We ain't asking y'all to send no cash out. We ain't asking y'all to Zelle us no money. We ain't asking y'all for Venmo. We ain't asking y'all for nothing. We just ask y'all to share this live, but we can have some real conversations. I like having real conversations with people, man. Like deeper. I like talking about deeper conversation with people. That's all I like to talk about. So if you know a pastor, a clergyman, or somebody, a minister who want to come on and talk about the Black church, where is it? Where are we with the Black church? What is it? What's the role of the Black church in the Black community now? And should the Black church still be the voice of the community? Have the Black church lost the ears of the people? That's what I want to talk about, a real conversation about what's going on down here on this level. You know what I'm saying? Because see, a lot of churches, they say they be in the streets, but I don't see a lot of churches in the streets. See, there's a difference between being in the streets and being in the street. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the lowest common denominator. There were people called the lowest common denominator people. You know what I'm saying? We're not seeing where's the church in that standing? Why has the church lost the ear of the people? So we're going to get into it, y'all. We're going to start the first, like I say, if y'all inbox me, I can send y'all the link, or I can just post it. I'll just post the link in the, I'll post the link in the ticker at the bottom that's strolling over. So let's get into it. Have you heard anything about the Shannon Sharp story?
Well,
you heard about Shannon Sharp?
I just know I heard the phone call that he had with her, and it was pretty ugly.
Yeah, it was. But see, here's the thing about it. We don't know his intent with how he was speaking. It sound what they call it. It sound the way he talked to her. It sounded like he was angry or something.
Yeah.
And I think they set him up to get that out of him.
Yeah. Because she paused, I guess, like once she listened to it.
Yeah, there was
a pause. Like,
yeah. She was like, wow, I got him. What I'm going to say now? And she said, I really don't want to be choked. And it was so, but I'm going to let you, if y'all don't understand, if y'all haven't heard the audio of Shannon Sharp, who's saying something? Okay, Rock want to send the link. Okay, I'm gonna send you the link, Rock. I'm gonna send you the link.
No, I'm trying to check something.
What are you trying to check? So yeah, so give me a minute. I'm gonna send somebody this link real quick. I'm gonna send somebody this link.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. The the way the conversation went, and when y'all listen to it, you just, listen from a perspective of what does it sound like to you? Because there's a great pause in it, as if she don't even know him.
But like I say, it ain't as much as about the call. It ain't as much about this story, period. But it's about why are we allowing? If you're going somewhere, if you got big things going on and you're trying to strive to be something, why would you allow something into your life that don't serve you? It's not going to serve your purpose. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
And that'll tie into the others.
And that's going to tie into. I don't want to be too critical of Shannon, right, because it's not illegal. It's not illegal to mess with a 19-year-old. It's not. I'm serious. It's not illegal.
I get it,
it's
but
not illegal.
It's not even so much that. It goes back to the whole thing of what is the point? Like at this point in his life, what is the purpose of her being in his life with the places he's trying to go?
Exactly, and that's the angle. That is the angle I want to take with that. So let me see what I'm play first. I'm going to play the audio of the phone call from the young lady. I'm gonna play this audio, y'all.
Anything I say, you're just gonna like get mad at, and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a dick to me now, so
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh no, have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm gonna choke out of you when I see you. Thank you.
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
Anything I say.
That's the audio. That was the audio of her saying that. That was the audio of her. Kind of like if she recording the call, she know what she's doing. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because when you're talking to
record it unless you have a plan to
there's
use
no
that.
need to record a call unless you expecting something to happen. Right. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, he's gotten himself caught up in that, right? He's got himself caught up in that right there. So my point is, how would a man in his 50s get caught up in a situation like this with a young lady that young? And I know he got a right to be who he want to be with. I'm not denying you a man not having the right to be with who he want to be with. But why are you involving yourself in stuff that it ain't gonna serve you no purpose?
Especially in
Rock Flat, what's going on?
What up, Lamar?
Like it's not a serious relationship anyway.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, we talking about. I can see your glasses, but
Yeah, I just got out of work. I always tell you when I get out of work, I'll be low that.
Yeah, you must be incognito.
Yeah.
Incognito.
Yeah, I heard you say something about the thing about when I'm real passionate about that when he said, well, that pastor name was Pastor
You talking about Jamal Bryant. Yeah, I saw that, and that what made me want to talk about that today, because you brought up a good point. But we gonna get to that. But we talking about, we gonna warm it up a little bit first. We could talk about Shannon Sharp and why would a man with so much to lose choose something that it can't serve you no good. You know what I'm saying? And I know a man got a right to be with the woman he want to be with, but she's 19. She's not experienced enough to go the way you trying to go anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. It's like a person. You have to sit and think: is this person an asset to my life or a liability? Like, and you have to look at the history, and you have to look at. I mean, because judging from the way their conversation went,
what's up, Bill?
They had some stuff going on that didn't seem too good anyway.
Well,
yeah,
that's well, you know, like Lamar keeps saying, we're in the streets and all that. That's a person that's not all the way raised, like you said, by your mom and dad, and going by those good old morals and good old boys, like everybody say, get you a few dollars and go hide and just spend your money with all the millionaire companies and stuff. Then he choose to do something different and try to go have a little fun on the side. He should have been more experienced to know that there's always some girl or some dude around here and say, "Oh, you could sue him now. You could frame him now. You could blackmail him now." So, I mean, I'm from the street too, so I don't mind the man having a little fun, but you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. Like I
them,
said, yeah, ain't nothing. It ain't illegal. It ain't illegal. It's not illegal what he's doing. But when you trying to get to a certain place, you gotta. The goal is to eliminate stuff out your life that ain't gonna serve you well. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have the intuition.
we've been going through that ever since we were little. Remember when people first made the NBA and the NFL and they ran over there and they said, "Oh, he ran and got a white woman." First thing I said he did to Kobe Bryant, like you were trying to sneak off with one of them instead of just put them out there in the light from the beginning, so the whole you see you messing with them like the New England coach doing. You see what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let everybody see her. So if she tried to blackmail him, it won't be like they were sneaking and doing that. She gonna be like, "No, the world already see she right there. She knows she underage." So he should have put her out there and said, "Hey, I sneak around with this old OnlyFans model every now and then, and me and her doing this consensual, you know." So he
Yeah, yeah.
had it and it bit him.
Yeah, that's a good point though. That's a good point. That's a good point.
I'm just listening.
No, you part of it too. You got
thinking.
it.
No, I'm thinking.
I said
I'm
he was trying
thinking
to
about
hide.
what y'all saying.
That was
I'm
on.
thinking about it. I mean, you just have to be true to who you are with whatever you're doing. I mean, you gotta look at your own life and say, you know, what is this? Where am I going? Like the topic is this serving me? And you know, will this hurt me in the long run? Is this really what I want? I mean, you have to factor it in when you come down to the fact that he has money and he has lots of it. You people have agendas, and you have to understand, you know, who people are to you. You have to.
Yeah, and my point is when I say stuff that don't serve you, what else could he have gotten out of her that he didn't get the first night?
Right.
It was nothing else he could have got from her. You already got what you wanted from her. You hit it. You know what I'm saying? So if that's your old, are you in love or you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Once it starts serving you, you got to let it go.
Right.
It ain't serving you no good. You know what I'm saying? You got out of it what you wanted out of it, but you stayed in it too long, and now everything you work for, it's going to be pretty much half hers. You know what I'm saying? If this don't work out right.
Did they say how long their relationship was?
Listen though. When you keep saying the word serve, explain to us what you mean by serve first.
When I say serve, let's say if I'm kicking it with you, what about you that I can use to help me get to how can we help each other? You know what I'm saying, Rob? How can we help each other? That's all I'm saying. How can she help me get to where I'm trying to go?
No, he just
besides laying on the bed.
Want to have some fun when he wasn't out.
I get it.
Serve. He ain't like no date. It ain't like nobody he was trying to date. He was just having fun. So when you keep saying serve, he wasn't looking for no serve. He don't want no 50-50. He don't want to help pay no bill. He want to have fun. You know, our OnlyFans is an undercover word for a I don't even know if I can say this word on your line, but you know where you going, escort service. Like it's a
exactly.
Escort service. So the man went to an escort service, and there should be like some laws or some rules on the escort service saying if a man pay you and you know he give you a good service, you give him a good service, you can't come back next week and try to turn it into something like that.
But see, here's the thing though, it's not a rule. So what got to happen next? He got to be responsible enough.
Does her age matter? Let me ask that.
I wouldn't say
because if she had been an older woman, we would be having this conversation.
No, the reason why I say age matter in this because she's inexperienced. She inexperienced as a woman. She can't.
Older women that would have done the same thing.
No, I'm saying some older women could have got caught up in an essay with an older woman. But what I'm saying, the fact that you're trying to do something with your life, you're trying to go somewhere.
Right.
How is this young girl gonna serve you?
So it's her character.
So
it has nothing to do with her age.
It's her experience.
He ain't worrying about no serve. Listen at this right here, and this probably what's gonna happen though. They probably gonna try to do him like they did the boy who played for Cleveland. Now it's some more girls on OnlyFans who don't probably went and did something with him and ain't got no, they little money, they 1,000 or 10,000 be right every time he see them. They not been down. If Tony Busby, he out looking for other women right now, like he do Jay-Z and everybody else and Puffy them. He out looking for other women to even make this, whether it's right or wrong. He the type of lawyer gonna eat off of getting women to say, girl, you could just come in here and say, when you did it with him, he choked you and you ain't want to be choked. Now that's another million. So he just in a situation where me and you from the same place. We to get back out there and say, oh, you out there sneaking around spending your money with somebody else. Now why they end up taking advantage of you?
Exactly. But you would think somebody our age, Rock, we know that we know better, right? So
we try to know better.
Yeah, we try to. But if you got something to protect,
we don't know the character of the other person. We try to know better.
If she's on OnlyFans, you kind of figure out what she was her character. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
you say, you already know you messing with somebody who
people they don't get on OnlyFans to sue their customers. They don't join.
It's amazing how money just make people just do a lot of unwise things.
There you go. There you go.
That's how I look at it. I mean,
I totally agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. What you're saying is absolutely right. Well, all I'm saying is it's his responsibility not to get in that position.
Listen
to be taken advantage of. That's all I'm saying.
Let me ask you this. And don't say you know what I'm saying, but I want you to answer without saying you know what I'm saying. Do you think Tony Busby got in touch with her, or she got in touch with Tony Busby, the lawyer?
I think she seeked them out. I think she got in touch with him because this is her profession. She got to make money. She don't love you. You know what I'm saying? She don't love you. This a young girl. She ain't into this. She ain't trying to be your wife. She ain't trying to cook for you. What? She ain't trying to rub your back. You know what I'm saying? And you know what you got her for.
Let me broaden it out for you then. Because back when, I ain't gonna say I would run the street doing that, but back when, most of the time when Backpage was out, when OnlyFans come out, she either got a pimp or a boyfriend who in her ear saying, "Girl, we need to get us some money now."
Oh yeah. She set the trap. She been set the trap. I mean, why else would you record yourself? Who record themselves when they having a conversation with somebody in a relationship with all the time? Who just record themselves? I don't record myself when me and her talking. You know what I'm saying?
We all know if my girlfriend was cheating around with one of the Falcons and all of a sudden I confront her, oh, you've been sneaking with him and he ain't getting you number 1,000. They used to give a girl 10,000 when they fly them out. Now they finna try to come at you for being cheap. You know what I'm saying? When you should have just get ain't that what they call an NDA, and say, hey man, I be paying you for your services. I don't want to hear nothing later on, but I took advantage of you and it wasn't fair and all that. That I think he done sat here and commented on Puffy getting locked up, so he ought to know what an NDA is. He know what Tupac, Mike Tyson went through. So like you just said, if you already done seen these brothers go through it, what made you feel like you were untouchable? You know what I mean? But like, we growing up with some dude right now that's fighting no cases that's not public, and these girls want their money.
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? But for a 50-something-year-old to let a 21-year-old take him like that, you got to see he should have foresaw what could happen.
Yeah, I just told you.
See, we don't know what gonna happen, but we can kind of like prevent stuff that might happen. You know what I'm saying? It's some stuff we can try to prevent that might happen. You know what I'm saying?
And I don't. I'm gonna say this. I don't understand why a lot of these well-to-do men with money just don't understand the game women are running. I have conversations with one of my girlfriends who knows people in NFL and stuff, and the stories that I hear, it's like some of these women their aim is, I'm gonna get pregnant, have a couple of kids, but they gonna pay me. Ain't trying to do nothing more than just get paid. They making sure they get pregnant. It's like it's like it's a game. So I don't understand why a man in his position with money and all of that fame would not see what's happening around him, and like you said, to know that he's not untouchable. Like
We all just straighten it out though. He was trying to sneak and he got caught. Bring her to the light from the day one. Hey man, that one here. My sister supposed to know I'm messing with her. My friend's supposed to know, and you could have some character witness. Oh, that girl always been coming around, but hey man, you know, Zion Williamson did it too. You remember the girl said she made $1 million. She's threatened to go public on him. He was getting her $100,000 a month.
Yeah, and the thing, and the trick to it was, and once she got you on that phone call, and to me, I think that's probably gonna be one of the biggest thing in the evidence that they're gonna have him in his own. That's how they get her. They make you do it in your own words. So it ain't no back and forth. He said he gonna choke me when I come over there, and everybody know it's a setup.
But listen,
or else she wouldn't have called him and recorded it. You know what I'm saying?
Now that they took him off air, he can go in private. If he want to get her the $10 million for it all go away, he keep the rest of his money. He gonna make the rest of his life. That's what he got to do now. And from now on, it ain't gonna be nothing nobody else can do. He out the public now, so he ain't got to worry about losing that job.
I'm sorry.
But go on and pay the
I'm
go
looking
somewhere
at
and
a
pay the
comment.
lady. Pay the lady. You made a mistake.
Oh
You made
my
a $10 million mistake, and let it be. You know what I mean?
Oh my
Because
God.
he can't rehash it. He can't fight it.
Oh wow.
But see, they said he was they say he already offered her 10 million.
The internet is undefeated. So
yeah, he had already offered her 10 million, but
get her. He could. Hey, now that he out, he can get her that 10 now. So
yeah, but she didn't want the 10 million. She found out he finna get $100 million contract.
She'll take it.
She gonna try to get as much as she can from him.
She'll take it now. She'll take it now that he off the air.
Yeah, because I think somebody was finna pay him for shakes for his media company $100 million.
Yeah.
And now she's saying she want 50 million of that. So and she went and got the phone call and she went and evidenced up. That's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? But
that's around won't get nothing now being greedy now that he ain't on air. It only looked like you could just take advantage of him because he kept standing in front of the TV every morning looking like a hypocrite. Can you imagine her and her boyfriend sitting there watching Sports Center and Buddy keeps saying, look at this gorilla, look at this. Now saying all kind of stuff. He couldn't even make love to a girl good no more. Yeah. Oh, you got him in the background while we in the bedrooms. You ain't mess these folks up.
Yeah, man. But the moral of the story, man, is to stop. You know, attaching yourself. Stop letting stuff hold on to you that don't serve you. If you can't get nothing out of this, but what he got of it the first payment he made.
And I mean, he need to assess his life. I mean, what's his age? He's like 50 what?
He like 50 something, but he already.
I mean, at some point, what I'm saying.
And Monique tried to tell him, you know what I'm saying?
Right, at some point, exactly, she did. At some point, you have to get over yourself and say, what is my value? I mean, I want to have fun, okay, but you got to start to value yourself and know people may try to use you. And it's just like, just make wise decisions. You know what I'm saying? You don't get to undo something. Some stuff, it's like once it's done, it can just wreck your future. I don't know. It's silly to me.
Because it's some women that I have dealt with that I knew I would never marry. I knew we this is as far as we gonna ever go with this. Because to me, I don't think that would have been like my type of perfect person to marry. And I know that might sound crazy, but to me, I think, you know what I'm saying? If you just gotta have it for what it's serving for. If this is all it's serving you for, that's all you gotta know. This all what it is. He should have knew this all what it is a girl off Fans Only. We finna hit, and that's it. And I gotta let that go, and I go get another girl off Fans Only. That's what he should have did. He should have kept paying for some more. I mean, he stuck with one and let her get too close to him, and now he's hopefully he don't have to pay for it, But that phone call. If
that's the way he want to live his life, then
ain't nothing wrong with living your life. I'm not saying ain't nothing wrong with living your life.
No. I'm just saying if that's what he want to do is live like that and not, settle down with one person. If he gonna have fun, he need to do it with some wisdom. That's all I'm saying.
If when you
You know.
when you done when you done with it, let it go. Let it go to somebody. Let somebody else get that problem. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. So that's enough of that, man. Next topic we're gonna talk about. I'm trying to see if a pastor gonna come back on. Yeah. Next topic we're gonna talk about the Sanders family, man. Do you see it as? Do you see Dion and his family as confident, or do you see it as cocky? Is they confident in themselves, or is it just cocky? And why in 2025 are black men still being told to be humble the way the system want us to be humble just to get what we deserve? You know what I'm saying? To get what we deserve, we still being, in 2025, we still got people buying into, oh, you need to be humble. You need to shut up. You need to shut up to get what you deserve, not that what you want. I think he earned the right to be better than the top five, a 5 pick.
Right.
And I think everybody know that. That's why this is really an issue, because everybody and their mama know that he's better than what they got him. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Everybody and their mama know that.
Well, this is how I look at it.
Let me bring somebody in real quick, man.
Okay.
What's up, Mr. Bear? What's going on?
Hey, long time no see.
You too, Rob.
What's going on with you, bro?
Hey, man, it's your world, brother.
Hey, man, this our world, man. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing mine, man.
No, sir. I can't believe I got let back on the show. I thought I had.
Hey, man, you always, man. This is the Everyday People show, man. Listen, me and Jen, we just host this show. If you call me and say, hey, man, I want to do this on this show, I do it, because it's the people show. This what the platform is about, man. About, serving the people. You know what I'm saying? I tell you, like to have real conversations with real people. You know what I'm saying? Instead of listening to all these people on TV talk, we can talk amongst ourselves about how we feel about something. You feel me?
I got you.
So we just got through talking about the Shannon. You want to weigh in before we move on?
Well, I said what I had to say about him. He bogus. He been bogus. We just overlooked it. And like so many brothers with money, they prefer giving money to snow bunnies and just don't want to get no money to black women. That shit it be photos of me.
Yeah, I feel.
I have my thoughts about it. It's kind of like they get used and they have their plans. They have their plans, and it's like they can't. I guess some of these men can't get over the fact that that's a possibility that they're being played. I mean, because in my mind, it's just me. Some of these men probably wouldn't even get any of these women if they didn't have the money and fame they had. I'm just saying.
But this, what I said, if you're gonna do that, go to a professional service. They got professional service that will keep everything discreet. When you doing this, the way they moving,
yeah,
come on now.
That's how you're gonna do it.
And then we seen the clips now. Monique warning, Cat warning. He got the warnings. Even the other comedian dude warning. He clowned him about messing with a 30-year-old woman. So he's just a big hypocrite who plays a part and like most. And remember this now. Even when Skip chumped him off, what did he do? Nothing. You know what I'm saying? He submits to the whiteness of America. Mm-hmm. He ain't give Skip no clap back. I'm just gonna go home. I'm not gonna come back no more. I'm upset. But you're a buster. You're just a big dude who got a little cheddar. But you the truest of busters. And you want us to respect you. Listen, I'm a grown man. My man over there is a grown man, and we all got egos. It's cute when one of these little 19-year-old girls think I'm cute, but that's all it is. It's cute. I know I still got as an old man, but in my mind, every 19-year-old girl is looking to see how much money I got. And that's a couple on who just want some whatever. But what is it? I ain't promoting it. But if you just want to sleep with one to boost your ego, do it. But you can't have no relationship. You can't have no relationship with a teenager, and it's been going on for 2 years. You can't have a relationship and call yourself a grown ass man.
It's bogus to me.
It's not illegal, but it's a maturity thing. You know what I'm saying? Hold
on, we keep saying it ain't illegal. He been giving Slim money. It is illegal. It's always been illegal to pay for sex unless you're in Vegas. So let's stop saying it ain't illegal. Let's say it ain't a felony. It's illegal.
But we can't prove he paid for it. Like we can.
He done said he
didn't pay for it. Now he finna pay for it.
No, but he finna pay for what he got. He ain't finna pay for what he finna get. But he you know, his statement was, I pay with my wage, not with my I play with my wage, not with my age. So I mean, you know,
yeah. He did say that.
He let us know who he was, and we just tried to forgive him because we always keep trying to forgive black men who are shady because we don't want to have to come against them. And then other people going, hey, why you always tearing a black man down? What about Hugh Hefner? What about these people? Stop. Wrong is wrong. Hugh Hefner was 1,000 years ago when the climate was totally different. I hate when we keep trying to lessen what shady colored folk do to try to make it seem like it ain't that bad. Every time you disrespect a black woman, you shade. I don't give a shit what white people do to white people. When you disrespect our black women, you are disrespectful to the core. Ain't no getting around that.
Stanford, what's up, my brother?
Hey, what's going on? How you doing?
What's up, player? It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. How y'all doing?
Doing
good, man. Yeah, so my biggest take out of this, man, is stop allowing stuff to attach itself to you that it's not gonna, if it don't serve you. That girl wasn't gonna serve him no more than what she served the first night. It was nothing else you were gonna get out of that. You know what I'm saying?
You talking about Shannon Sharp or something?
Yeah, I'm talking about Shannon. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, he's who he is. It's been going on for decades, hundreds of years. People like to go ahead and soak their royal oats, I guess is what they want to call it, right?
Ain't that royal about the most?
Yeah, but you don't. Let me ask y'all something. Y'all don't think LeBron just had one woman all his life? Y'all think LeBron just slept with, out of the last 20 years, he just slept with one woman? Y'all think LeBron
fuck no.
Yeah, no, he got his business in order. You know what I'm saying? He know how to shop. You know what I'm saying? You don't just mess with any girl. You don't mess with how you gonna give somebody on fans only when she on there to make the money? Well, what else you? No, that's all I'm saying. Why you picking up stuff? It don't serve you. It ain't gonna serve you no more than what you already been served.
Right, but let me say this right quick, because the dude said it. If you're gonna do this and you got the money, and I ain't knocking nobody in their choices, but why would you pick a super regular chick? A regular chick is for us. You gonna spend all that money?
No, I ain't no regular chick woman. I ain't got no regular chick. I got a bad.
Exactly. So if you got money, why would you go to the bottom of the basement and get some trashy white girl?
Because men do that. Men will marry a motherfucker that work in a Waffle House.
Again, love who you love. But if you're gonna pay to play, why would you pay some bottom of the barrel chick? He might as well went to FIB. Ain't nothing special about that girl. She ain't pretty, she ain't fine, she ain't nothing, but she's a hella tape recorder.
Let me tell you something. I met chicks that was bad as hell, and it wasn't nothing they can do to the chicks that was on the bottom of the barrel. Just because she got money and all that good stuff, whatever, and because she has a certain status, don't mean she can do you better than the one that's on the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, I think every man got a preference. And some men like flat booty women. I mean, it don't matter the shape or size.
Well, I ain't gonna say that.
If she, well, you know,
there are some. I know somebody who said that.
My point is Stanford.
No, I get you. I'm just trolling you.
My point is, can she? What can she do for you? What can she do for you? You know what I'm saying? Like, can she?
What he want?
Yeah, well, can she take what you making and elevate it into even more? Can she take what you making and make more out of it? Or she just
that ain't what he looking for. That ain't what he looking for.
Yeah, he just said it. What you want, what he wants.
Well, he gonna learn today.
You know, nobody cares about all that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we should learn from other people. You know, like, we should observe and see what's happening so we can get an understanding. Like, it different faces, different times, different places, but it all plays out the same.
And let me say this: we all grown men, but ain't neither one of us not been back in the day some ain't shit brothers. So when you ain't shit, you do that kind of stuff. But when you start wanting stuff, we've been with women that we didn't want nothing from, and that's what we wanted, nothing from them. So we let it be what it was. So I ain't knocking the brother from that. I'm just saying make better choices. If you're gonna deal with something like that, especially if you're gonna be coming out the pocket, listen. It's good looking women who do the same thing. It's good looking women who over 21. One of the people I know got like 2 standards in life. But one of his first standards, he will not mess with no girl who can't afford to buy liquor. And I don't like his choice of young women, but I gotta respect the fact that he will not. That's his number one standard. She got to be able to buy her own liquor.
I'm gonna tell you this. I don't think
he's
it's the fact.
50-some years old, but he got a minimum standard. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think it's because he can't get them. I mean, look at Shannon Sharp, man. Shannon Sharp ain't one of the most attractive dudes in the world. So
You
now
said
that
he what?
he's not one of the most attractive dudes in the world. Come
Yeah,
on,
I
you know
agree.
what I'm saying? I know that women say that all the time, but because he has money, you know, now his head is all. That's what happens.
I'm not saying he don't look good or anything like
No,
that. I'm
that
just
motherfucker
saying.
look like.
I'm just saying, you know,
I know he
like,
does.
like
And he don't look like Flavor Flav or Biz Markie. So
let's move on, man. Let's move on to the next story, man. The Sanders, man. Do y'all see the Sanders as being confident, or do y'all see him as being cocky? And why? And the question is, why in 2025 are black men still being told to be humble the way they want us to be, to get what we deserve? If this is like, to me, this is like when are we gonna stop saying it? When are we gonna stop saying like we the problem? Oh, we the problem, so we need to tap down. We need to come down to what they want us to be. Are we the problem?
No, I
Or
don't
they
think
the problem?
nobody's.
You know what I'm saying?
How many black people you know? I don't think no black people said that about that.
Yo, it's a lot of people. Trust me,
Really?
I've been in conversation with. I've been in conversation with a lot of black men saying it's Dion's fault. Dion running his mouth. Dion, they need to shut up. They flashing gold and all. I mean, is that confident or is it too cocky?
Can we go one at a time on that?
Go ahead.
Yeah, we can do
somebody.
one time on
Who
that
want
one.
to go first?
Go ahead, since you asked.
Okay. So, and I love me some prime time. I watched the whole situation. I didn't just wait till the draft. And then when it happened, I started saying, "Oh, I'm shocked." You know what I mean? What you got to realize, and I deal with it at a warehouse. When you keep saying in 2025 we still got to shut up. I ain't gonna, at a warehouse job, at a construction job, everywhere I went, those same people, they make us black people hush up because we be wanting that money to hurry up and pay our bills and stuff and make it to another day. So we still doing it, not in the sports world. But when it comes to them, they watch him climb the ladder being arrogant. And he started making comments like his team and that other boy, Travis Hunter, ain't even heels. They weren't gonna play for a certain team, and he was gonna make sure, and that's documented. He was on the little TV show he had, and he was saying stuff like that. So when you running a business, when you hearing that, he don't have the right, and I love Deion Sanders, he don't have the right to try to come and run the NFL the way he want to. Because once he start doing that, he done tore down a whole thing been going on for 40, 50 years. We got this man telling these guys when we want to draft them 1 and 2 to go to Cleveland and go to Jacksonville, they don't want to do it now. So I think they looked at it as a whole and say, this guy trying to ruin what the NFL got going on. And he should have just been humble like he was trying to get over Lamar. Hey, if Cleveland picked you, Shiloh, if such a name picked you or Hunter, go on to get the money, then we could try to get you traded in. But I think as a whole, they looked at how he was trying to conspire against the NFL.
But let me ask you something. Do you see it as is it because of who he is or what he is?
No,
Is it because he's black?
I just said
because we've seen this happen. We've seen this twice before. We've seen Elway do it and get what he want. We've seen Manning do it and got what he want. So you can't convince me that it's nothing more than who he is and what he looked like. So that's my point.
That was probably coming from a white agent, though. Now we talking about, now you keep saying don't put no skin in it. He can't run the NFL, all that going behind it. He was going around trying to build up an audience saying, if I don't want him here and I don't want him here, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do that. And so they said, we're going to show you. We
have to remember, it's their world. And when I say their world, I'm saying it's the white man's world when it comes down to all this.
And this is what I hate right now. It's like this is all we. It's like, well, this white man world. We happy being slaves. So
what? No. I said
it's like you happy. You happy that you in this situation.
No, I said that to make a point that with him being of color, you have to watch yourself. Like, you got to watch what you say. You got to keep your nose clean because they
Yep.
always watching you.
They
They know when you good. They know when you got the
But
talent.
how long? When this is going? When are we going to start? When are we going to start turning this back the other way to where they just going to judge us for who we are and not for how we make them feel?
I think
What y'all talking about? We got to be the way they make us. We got to be a certain way to make them feel a certain way. Why we always got to be like that?
So let me answer the question
I'll
really
tell you
quick.
this,
I don't think
because
he's
they're the
cocky. I think
Okay,
he's
go ahead.
just confident, and I think because again he's black. If the white guys have gotten away with it, then that again goes back to is their world. They got the power to kind of pull the strings how they want. And I think for him, it's not. I don't think it's maybe sometimes he's had a little cockiness or a little arrogance, but I still think the confidence is that they don't like that, especially if he's saying extra things like what he's going to do, what he's not going to do, as if he's trying to run something.
Right.
But I don't think it's wrong that he's confident. I don't see him as cocky. I just think it was being confident. A lot of people are confident, and they still dependent on who they are. Either they're going to get their word or not. Black people, especially black men,
we got to be confident the way they like it.
Exactly. Unfortunately, because they can pull you down. They see you making a little extra money. They see you doing. I've seen this firsthand. They see you buying a couple of extra cars. They see you, shining a little bit too much. Sometimes you can't even let people know where you live.
I understand that part. I get that. I get that, y'all.
On a low level.
When do we get to a point where we say no? I'm gonna be me. Why can't I be me? And you still they still drafted him anyway. They drafted him anyway, so they still want it.
Yeah,
I think something has something to do with his pops, as far as who his pops was.
Go ahead.
A little. I think a little bit has something to do with his pops and who his pops was. But I do also agree with Jenny a little bit. Is that it's you shouldn't have to hide who you are, because let's be honest, they are recruiting you for your physical attributes, right? And he has all that. If you look at some of the I was upset when my Giants recruited that Jackson, what's his name? Jackson Dart. I was like, there he go. But I do know that the Giants has not recruited a black quarterback in the first round ever. So it is what it is. Am I gonna say that it's a racist thing? I don't know. I can't say that. But what I will say is that the people that's in power, the ones that's in power, man, and they have a standard. Simple as that. In their minds, their standard.
But if you're gonna say we have to be humble, and we've seen this play out before, we've seen Elway still say I'm not going there. We've seen Manning say, no, my son ain't going there. So why can't Dion want the best for his child?
No, he should.
Why is it different when a black man say I want my child to be in the best situation? Because you got to understand, Dion know the situation. Dion done been there. He done played professional football. He done played professional baseball. He know how the system goes. So all Dion was saying, I want my child in the best position to be successful, like Archie Manning did, like Elway Daddy did. They allowed them to do it.
You know what?
I agree.
You know what? All those guys, their fathers, Archie Manning, them, they wasn't as boisterous as Dion either.
That's not true. That's not true.
They wasn't like that.
Archie Manning came out. They came out with what they talked about this during draft night. They up into the draft night, they was asking them.
I'm not agreeing with what they're doing. Just so you know, I'm not agreeing with what they're doing. I'm not. I'm just saying the difference between the two. Archie Manning was not as boisterous as
The only difference, bro, is color. Go ahead, DVP. Go ahead, bro.
All right, let me just correct you on a couple of things. First of all, color wasn't the only difference.
No, hold on. Before you get started, you're finna give me your opinion.
No, I'm finna give you
your opinion.
I'm finna give you facts.
That's all I gave you. I gave you my opinion. Okay. No, you can't give me no facts, cause
yes, I can.
You got an opinion. This is an opinion show.
My opinion is gonna come after the facts, because you said the Mannings and them did the same thing. You never saw any of the Mannings say what team they wanted to play for. They just said what team they wasn't gonna play for. Shador came out on 2 separate occasions sporting another team's color. See, that's a big no-no, because when they ask you who you want to play for in the camp, you never say a team, because then you limit yourself. See, once you already
let's get this closer. You asked me this right. He had a logo on. He had the logo.
Yeah, he had their colors on, Robert.
He had the colors on the logo.
He had the colors on, Robert. He was already talking. You gonna let me give you the facts? Or you gonna keep questioning?
No.
He had already been to New York throwing what they receiver. Dion was already talking about them being in Oakland. See, you don't see other people do that. When Caleb Williams did it last year, Caleb Williams said, the number 1 pick said, I'm only going to interview for one team, and that's Chicago. I ain't going to do it with nobody else. You didn't see him get blackballed because he didn't say nothing about him. He just said if he won number 1, he didn't want to go through that process. But the reason that we have to bend to them, any job you want, Robert, any job you want. When you want to work for certain people, we know a bunch of people who smoke weed. But if they want this good paying job to say they can't smoke weed, what they do? They go buy a test kit because they want that job. These boys been doing their whole life to play this game.
Let me ask you something.
If this is the game you want to play, you have to play the game.
Did Caleb Williams actually say that, or he just
he
just turned down everybody's offer?
Nope. He said
interviewed.
You can Google it, Robert. He said it out loud. So when we want to do something, we got to conform to what it is we want to do. That's always been the standard. Why do we go to work on time? See, Seth, how long you been at your job? You muted.
I've been there for like I don't know. My job right now?
Yeah.
I've been 10 years.
Okay, so now 10 years later, you ain't the same person that you was on day 1. Because when you come in, you can't come in being that dude. But after you've been there and you established, you can change the game. But you got to get in the door first. Nobody comes in.
You gotta be.
Why you put hot sauce on stuff that you don't even taste?
I agree with him on that part. I do agree with him on that part. But the dynamics are a little bit different because of the fact that it's, I'm in corporate America, but they are.
The NFL athletes. Is corporate America. They just pay more.
Yeah, well, them athletes get paid more than me. Shit, they get millions.
No, that's what I said. The NFL pays more.
Oh, okay. But
but the NFL choose you. You don't choose the NFL.
Yeah,
Robert, he could have said
when we go look for jobs, we going looking for a certain job.
He could have said I'm going to the USFL. He could have said I'm going to the CFL. He didn't have to go to the NFL, Robert. He had a choice. He wanted to be in the NFL. So if you want that, you got to put up with what they give you. You can't sit back and tell the people who you want to hire you what they got to do. That ain't never been the standard. That ain't never been the standard. When you want to go to college, you have to do what they tell you. You can't say, oh, I got a 4.0. I'm going to Yale. Yale don't play that game. No boss nowhere plays that game where you're going to come in telling them what to do. No boss anywhere comes in saying, oh, you know what? You're such a great person. I'm going to let you take over my company without knowing what you can do. Nobody does that. No.
Yeah, but when you get hired by a company, they have this thing called a handbook. They got all the rules and everything they expect out of you. They got it written down in a book. The NFL don't have a guideline. They don't have a book telling you need to shut up before the draft if you want us to pick you. You see what I'm saying?
They got a history. They got a history, Robert.
Yeah, and they got a history of letting white men make a choice where they sons go play. They got a history of that.
Nope, they got a history of saying where their sons ain't going to play. So you keep wanting to conflate the two. They're different.
It's the same thing.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't. He said where he wanted to play. Them other white dudes you keep wanting to compare said where their sons weren't going to play. And they picked one team. My son is not going to play for this team. My son is not going to play for this team. That's it.
Dion said Dion just want his child to be in the right on the right team. He wanted his son to prosper. He wanted. See, Dion been through this process. And Arch Manning been through that process. They know if you send your son to the worst team, a horrible organization that ain't trying to pour nothing into these kids, they know for a year they're going to be out there in their family because you ain't got nothing surrounding them. And Dion know the game.
Robert.
That's all Dion was saying. But we making excuses for the system.
Robert, I want you to
making excuses for the system. That's all I'm saying.
I want you to pull over the stats. Look at Manning's first 3 to 5 years. He sucked. Look at Elway 3 to 4. So they didn't know what they was doing either. They went to bad teams. They're gonna suck. So there's no prospering. You got to learn that process. Everybody don't turn out to be a Brady. They went and they suffered. Manning was the most sacked quarterback for the longest. So they don't know what they're doing. They're making why is it against it.
He never did go, but he was allowed to go to the team he wanted to go to.
No, he was allowed to. He was allowed not to go where he didn't want to go. He was allowed to go where he didn't want to go. That was it, right?
Eli Manning was drafted by the San Diego Chargers. He did not end up playing for the San Diego Chargers. They traded him somewhere else where
because he said he didn't want to go. What did Elway say? Elway said, "I'm not going to Baltimore." So he didn't go to Baltimore.
Okay, see my point is, so why is it a problem when Dion say I want my child to go to a better situation? Why is it cool when they do it, but it's a problem when we do it?
Dion tried to push 2 teams to do what he wanted to do. You're gonna tell me some rich man gonna make you do what you don't want to do, even if they right. Look at the dynamic. Oh, you let these folks tell you what to do. Ladies and gentlemen, when we were growing up, what's the number one thing we want to do when our parents told us not to do something? We went out and tried to do it anyway. So when you tell somebody what they can't do, you only invoking that spirit in them, Robert. That's human nature. When you tell me, oh, you better draft me, man, stop. I wish Stanford would walk into one of them places and some cute girl walk up to him and say, you better take me to a 5-star restaurant this evening. I don't care how cute she is. I bet Stanford don't take her. I bet he won't take her just because she told him he had to. So you can't tell no billionaire what he got to do and think he going to respond to that.
I get what he's saying, Robin. It's that
if Stanford is confronted with a girl that he likes, say, come on with me, and he going. If it's something you like, you're going to get it. They did this simply just to say, Negro, no, you can't do what we do. That's all. It was a message.
If Stanford ain't in a relationship for her, and I'm speaking for Stanford, if Stanford in a relationship with her, she might be able to tell him that. But if Stanford meets some girl off the street, don't care how pretty she can't tell Stanford where he gonna take her. I'm willing to bet that I'm pretty. You gonna take me here? Stanford gonna look at her pretty ass and you pretty, and he gonna keep walking.
Now you gotta look at it. Now you gotta look at it.
Man in charge what he gonna do when you ain't even been hired for the job yet, Robert. He ain't been hired to tell nobody what he gonna do.
But if it's a woman he won't, I bet he gonna go where she want to go.
I bet he won't. Not if she tell him, because we're all resistant to being told what to do by somebody who ain't on the team. That's human nature.
And on top of that, he's a black man.
That makes it racist. So that makes it
does.
That's all I'm saying.
It does, and it's not right.
I'm not
in that sense.
I want y'all to be clear. I get where y'all coming from. I get be humble to get what you want. We've been doing it for years. We know how to do that. We know how to be humble to get what we want. But when is the hell are we going to be able to be ourselves to get what we deserve?
When we run shit.
You know what I'm saying?
When we own those NFL teams. How about that?
That's it.
We own them already.
No, we don't own them.
We just don't know we own them. We own them already. We just don't know we own them. Because 75% of the players are black.
How many of the slaves were black? And we didn't own no plantation, Robert. That's a bad math. That's a bad math.
I'm gonna say this, man. I'm gonna say this to y'all, brother. We free, man. We just gotta claim it. That's all I'm saying. We free.
It'll take a whole lot of unity.
I know that. That's something.
BT, what's going on, my brother?
Whole lot.
What up? What up, BT?
BT, what's up? Got that team behind you, trash, man.
I mean, it's just a sad reality of just the way it works. I mean,
no, the sad reality is we accept this shit. That's the sad reality that we have bought into it. That this is how we got to be, and we ain't billing. No, I'm saying.
We don't have to be that way. We don't. It's just it comes with a lot of conflict.
And I don't lost jobs. I don't lost jobs standing up for other brothers. I actually lost jobs standing up for other brothers. But I always end up on my feet because I don't buy down to you know what I'm saying?
I agree. You don't have to, because I know in my personal life, I've seen it. I understand it. on the lowest levels, we can go through that kind of stuff. So I get it. I just think it's a sad reality. It's an acceptance of the truth of it all. But you know, personally, you have to be you can't be afraid. You got to be unafraid to just say, you know what, I'm Black. This how I feel, no matter how the system is, and I'm gonna just take my chances. And we have a right to do that. We just have to be ready for the battle. That's all.
And that's it. See, Jenny is a pretty woman. Many guys have asked Jenny out. She gets to choose who she want to go out with, no matter what they say. Shannon Sharp can walk up to Jenny with $20 million and say, hey, you finna go out with me because I'm rich. Jenny gets to say no, because Jenny is the one Shannon wants something from. Whoever got the power has control, Robert, whether we want to accept that or not. So until we get our own league or we start getting teams, we can't decide that. The boss decides that. The boss decides who get a promotion, no matter how great our work is. We've seen people get promoted who didn't deserve it. What can we do about it? Nothing. We were not in control. We could have been the best on the thing, but we didn't have that position. When you want something from somebody, see, if Jenny want to borrow $20 from me, Jenny has to acquiesce to me. If I want to borrow $20 from Jenny, I got to acquiesce to Jenny. That's the rule of the world. I can't just make nobody do nothing when I'm the one in need. So if I want to play in the NFL, they don't need to have a playbook. I know life teaches you what you got to do if you want somebody to work with you. And one ain't to tell them what they got to do. It ain't to tell them what they got to do.
But if I want to borrow money from you, if I want to borrow money from you, I ain't finna kiss your ass to get it.
He ain't got to kiss your ass. All you gotta do is
I'm not gonna get outside of who I am just to get it. You know, I'm not finna not be me. Just because you want me to turn the trick, you want me to turn a trick for you.
You don't have to ask him either.
So then you don't want to be a millionaire. So you got to, as Jenny said, you got to accept the consequences of your actions. Either you want something or you don't.
I think we're looking at it from different angles.
No,
y'all looking at it from. Let
me give you this example, Robert. When I became a cop, I saw how I could change the system from being within. So did some things go by that I wouldn't have normally went for? Yes. But to help my brothers, I had to put up with some stuff because I can only help them once I'm on the inside. If I lose my job, when they asking me for questions on how to get around something, I can't tell them because I don't have the knowledge or the connections. But I stayed in that job. I didn't like every day of it. But when people reached out to me and asked me how to do something, see, now I'm speaking with knowledge. So I'm standing there. So you ain't got to change who you are, but there's a time when who you are ain't going to get paid. So you got to decide, as all of us with kids do, am I going to keep this job because I want my kids to have a better life, or am I going to be a man and stand up for what I believe in? See, hunger costs money. Pride ain't fed nobody, and it never will. We've all done things that we didn't want to do, that we've been quiet when the boss said something to us, because we needed to keep something going. So it ain't about not being who you are. It's about knowing when you can stand up for you.
I'm not denying that part of it. I'm not denying you, man. I agree with you 100%. But my angle was, God damn it, how long we got to keep doing? You know what I'm saying? See what I'm saying?
For one dude, one dude. Don't say we got to keep
doing. What's up, man? What's going on?
One dude. Remember when Charlie Ward won the Heisman? Remember who drafted Charlie Ward? Nobody. Because Charlie Ward said, if I don't go in the first round, I'm not going to play. He was never first.
But let me ask you something. Where was he on the draft board?
He was
even though he was Heisman Trophy. Where was Eric Cross on the
second round? Because he was a Heisman Trophy winner.
That don't make you a high draft pick.
And guess what? If you look at some of the draft boards, it was even on stream on the sports thing. Some teams had Shador as a 6th round pick. See, not everybody was in love with him. We keep wanting to make it like that, but they
know what team you talking about? You talking about the Kansas City Chiefs? No, what team had him?
It don't matter.
You talking about the Kansas City Chiefs? That's who had it on the 6th round. You ain't talking about teams like New Orleans Saints. They ain't having 6th round. I wouldn't bet you they didn't have him in the 5th round.
All I'm saying is everybody didn't have him at the top. That's all I'm saying. We keep wanting to act like he was this somebody. But remember, Jamarcus Russell was a can't miss kid. So we can't keep saying that everything is discrimination for one person. One. Cam Ward didn't go through that. The dudes in Georgia didn't go through that. We want to act like it's racist all of a sudden. It's been racist for years, but ain't nothing special about one dude. It's always somebody who slipped through the crack. Always.
Let BT in on it, man. Go ahead.
What's up, BT?
Hey, what's going on? How y'all doing?
Good.
What up,
How are
bro?
you?
Good.
How you doing?
I'm usually lock and step 100 with DVP, but I'm not today. You know what I'm saying?
That's because you've been drinking.
All right, DVP. Let me ask you a simple question.
Ask me a simple question.
Say Deion Sanders and Shador Sanders, everything was the same except for they were white. Do you think that? Do you think the exact same thing would have happened?
And because you missed the beginning, yes. And
Mm-hmm.
like I told Robert, the difference with Peyton Manning and
I'm gonna get to that in a minute.
and Elway was they said one team they didn't want to play for. They didn't say who they wanted to play for. You cannot in the NFL advertise one team and think that they ain't a slap to the other teams. It's a slap.
All right. Here's my thing. Okay, now, how do you explain somebody like Johnny Manziel? Johnny Manziel was not a first round grade on anybody's board before the draft, but he was considered brash, cocky, immature, all this, and it got him pushed up to the first round. He was a second to third round grade all off season before all his workouts. So how do you explain that?
Did they win the championship?
No.
Who they lost to? But he took them there. He took them there. So
no.
And let's not get it twisted. Let's not get it twisted, BT. Every sport we know of is always looking for the next great white hope. Ain't none of them looking for the next great black hope. None of them. None of them.
So now you have to go back and retract your statement that if Deion and Shador were white, is different. It would be different. So
if they were white, they wouldn't have been so out there like they was.
Whoa!
Tell me which man that acted like Deion. Tell me which Elway acted like Deion.
Let me tell you somebody who was white that acted like Deion and them, like Shador and them, and that went number one. Baker Mayfield.
Tell me about somebody dead who did it.
All right, it doesn't. All right.
We'll forgive the indiscretions of the youth. We'll always forgive that because they're young and don't know no better. Okay. Tell me a daddy that acted as entitled as Deion did.
Now, let's talk. Let's get to the parents. Now, you're right. Eli said he didn't want to play for the Chargers, but I guarantee you his agent was working with the Giants to make that trade so he could go to New York. You notice he wouldn't go to. He wasn't trying to work a deal with Seattle. He wasn't trying to go to a place like Kansas City or some other smaller market. He's making sure that he was going to New York. You see what I'm saying? All right, a bigger market, a more desirable place. Even though probably the Chargers had a better team than them. You know, even though. So like. I don't want. It's not. I don't think it's about. I think the whole thing is. It's not about. The Sanders broke the protocol by doing certain things, but I just think that the teams that had Shador higher on their board, they wanted to humble him. And the way they humbled him is basically by falling down in the draft. You know, the Browns actually cut their nose off to spite their face because they could have had the two best players in the draft if they would have just sat where they were, drafted Travis Hunter at number 2, and then waited to the third round, fourth round, and got Shador instead of getting the other dude from the other quarterback. What's his name? I can't even think of his name. The white dude. But like, you see what I'm saying? So they actually put themselves in a worse situation.
And don't they have a history of doing that?
Yeah, they do. They do.
So to me, using them when they have a history of making bad decisions almost proves our point. Hell, they went out and look at what they spent for their black quarterback and how it burned them. You think they really gonna rush out and do it again?
You're right.
You really think they're gonna rush out to see if they're gonna get burned again by being overzealous?
Oh, yes, that's what they do.
Once bitten, twice shy.
Right. You've seen the Browns fans with the jerseys with the 15 names on the back because they can't get the
it's historic. The quarterback. So they don't want to keep wasting first round picks on quarterbacks who always They ain't had a good quarterback.
They didn't have to. They didn't have to. They could have got Travis Hunter, who was the best player in the draft at where they were. But they traded.
They need a lot of help. They need more than 2 positions. Travis Hunter would have been great as far as we concerned, but when we look at what teams truly need to get over the hump, and sometimes we forget that in our zest. And we like a certain player so much, they should be a good fit here. But the team got to look out for the next 2, 3, 4 years. So if they could get 7, 8 more draft picks, because they still got the Sean Book money they got to get off. So we don't know what's going on in the war room. You ever dated a woman and somebody said, man, how you let her get away? Because they don't know the inside. They just know what they see on the outside. And all we are is outsiders thinking what we should have done. But guess what? None of us get paid for it. None of us get paid to run a war room. None of us. We don't understand all these draft picks.
You're right there. And let me tell you where everybody's going wrong is comparing them to the Mannings. If they want to compare this historic thing, compare it to what the Eagles did to Terrell Owens. You remember they sent him home with his paycheck. You know, what the Buccaneers did to Keyshawn Johnson. These men are in such power, they are willing to pay you to go away. So they're willing to hurt their own team to keep you in your place. And that's what they did to Shedeur Sanders. They wanted to make sure he is in his place. He's not coming into this league thinking he can run things the way he wants to run them.
So if we believe that a bunch of rich white boys would rather lose games and lose money versus that, then come on now. How did Richard Sherman play so long? Because he was a brass brother. But you know what? He earned the right to do that because he proved he could play on the field. Why could Marshawn Lynch get away with saying certain things? Because he earned the right. But then neither one of them come in the league being brash. They came in the league quiet. Then neither one of them stepped up saying, I'm this, I'm that. They waited till they got their seniority in before they started.
Because Marshawn Lynch didn't have the locker room and Sherman did. So it's like, these people, white people, they are very smart. They're going to keep the ones that can control the others. And the ones that can't control the others, they're expendable. You understand what I'm saying, DVP?
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you this is what that is, man. I'm telling you what that is. Marshawn Lynch had enemies on both sides. So he couldn't do that. They said, well, we can get rid of him.
Yeah, man, this time flying, man. I want to get to my main topic, man.
Get to your main topic.
I want to get my main topic. I see my homeboy Rod. Rod, where you at, man? The main topic. I had a pastor on here, man. I reached out to pastor because when I talk about stuff like this, I be want to have people. I didn't want to come at this at the angle like we crapping on the church. You know what I'm saying? But to me, the question to me is, what's going on with the black church? I mean, there's a lot of talk about the black church. People say this, people say they ain't doing nothing, they have these scandals here and there. But my thing is, man, should the black church still be the voice of the community? Do y'all think the church still should be the voice of the community, like Dr. King, when Dr. King was coming up, Dr. King, Abernathy, and Reverend Williams and them, they was the voice of the community. These are the people that used to be the voice of our community. Now the voices of the community is like influencers, YouTube influencers and shit like that. And now the voice of the church is in the background. So do y'all think the black church should still be the voice of the community?
Let me answer that. Let me say this real quick with that. First of all, I think that the family should be the voice of the community. That's my opinion. The family should be. And I think that this should be backed up, and I think that it should be reinforced by the church. So that's just my take on it. I think we got it backwards. We all know that the church is what it is, and certain people go there, some people do certain things and stuff, but nah, the way the church is now, no, it shouldn't be. But the foundation of every great community is the family. In fact, the church teaches you that. The church literally tells you what the family is within the Bible if you believe in that kind of thing, okay? So The family is the backbone of the community, and the church is what helps guide it and give this its rules and regulations. But the family
So
is the
when let me ask you something, you say family. What is a lot of the families that I
nuclear family: mother, father, children.
exactly that's what I'm trying to get you because
Okay.
I grew up in a place where a lot of families were broken. So what did you say about that? You know what I'm saying? A lot of families are
If the
broken.
church, if the
A lot of
family
folks.
is broken, that's when the church steps up because the church is the hospital for the weak, the meek.
That's the point I'm trying to make. So should the
Okay,
church
then
be the
so
leader?
then if you are going to be, that's why I said need a backup for it. So if you don't have that kind of foundation, then you should learn it from those people that in within the church. But the thing is that the devil knows the Bible too. So you gotta be careful. You know what I'm saying? So just because it's a church doesn't necessarily mean it's the church, the right church.
Mhm.
I've been to a plenty of churches right now where the first thing you walk through, the first time when you first go there, the first thing they talk about is money. And I find it to be a little bit strange. You know
So
what I
so
mean? In
that's
my opinion.
so that's my point. So how
That's
we
the wrong church.
yeah. So why are we at a point that we saying this the right church? The church should be. It should be God. It's God's church, right?
Every
So
church is not for you, man. Every church is not for one person. Your relationship with God depends on you. That's it.
Yeah.
It's
All
I mean
right.
it's really that simple to me. In my point of view, is that if it's your relationship with God is with you. I mean between you and him. I I can't. I mean, I've been to a few churches down here in Florida. Right now, I'm in Florida, right? So I'm in here, and I've been to a couple of churches here, and not all the churches that I've been to, I didn't. It's not. I didn't like it. It's one or two of them I did. So what I got to do? I got to pick what's best for me, right? Me and my people I love, people I'm with, my family. You understand what I'm saying? So, and that's what it
yeah,
is. There's
I
no such.
I totally get what you're saying, but I'm when I say the church, I'm talking about in a
It's the
community sense.
institution.
Yeah, I'm
I
talking about in a community sense. You
Yeah,
know what
it
I'm
is. It's
saying?
the
I, I,
institution.
I, I hear you, Rob. Like
So there's a
the overall
responsibility for the. There's a
the
responsibility the church
overall
should have. Okay, I
yeah.
got you.
The answer to your question is yes. I think the church should be the black church should still be the voice of the black community, because the black church does more for the black community than any other organization ever in the history of this country. Period. And it still continues to this day. And I'll challenge anybody on that. So like when it comes to the church, but here's the thing: you still don't have all the black churches aren't doing the right thing. And then sometimes when the ones that's not doing the right thing, those are the loudest voices, and those are the ones that end up getting caught up, and that's when the issues and gives the church a bad name. But
Yes.
overall, churches, when it comes to blood drives, AIDS walks, community drives, taking care of widows and orphans in the community, you know, doing seminars on real estate and home buying and financial planning. The church is on the forefront of doing that for the community when no other organization is doing it. So not many other organizations are doing it, I should say. But like as far as the church, you got reverend churches, like, I mean, you got real preachers out there like Reverend Barber, who's out there on the front lines, of still fighting for civil rights. He should be one of the voices we listen to. You know what I'm saying? But we have
Gino
issues.
Gino Jennings.
Gino Gino Jennings is but like there are a lot of dudes. There are a lot out there like the Creflo Dollars. I know familiar with him, Rob. I mean, I'm not sure. I mean,
Nah, he
I can't.
bullshit.
I mean, he's all about the money. You know what I'm saying? And I know God wants us to be prosperous and all that, but that can't be your only message. You got to talk about the wages of sin. You got to talk about
Yeah.
what's going on in the community. You got to talk about loving thy neighbor and stuff like that. You got to talk about doing God's work, and God's work ain't making money. That's not God's work. I'm sorry.
Right. And see, this is the thing. This is what I see. It's like the churches that you're talking about that do those things that help serve the community, help build the community. They're like gems. You got to find them, and they're not where we can see them a lot of times. The ones that we see are the ones that you were talking about that are loud. You know, they're the big congregations. The pastors are pretty much celebrities. Everybody who know who they are, and they've become the face of the Black church that we see. And so people they miss the ones that are hidden out there that are doing the work, and it just makes it bad where a lot of times people don't even want to go because they don't know. So you have to like search and find those churches,
Okay.
because
Right.
I know I
I'm trying
used
to
to
find
go
that
to a big church and it was well known, and
video of
it's so much
the
drama there. I mean, all of the stuff that we see and hear about these other churches, I went through and saw the same thing, and I was heavily involved in it. And I understood, wow, this isn't right. You know, the word of God should be, preached. It should be taught how to have a better community. But when it's all about the money, it's all about networking, business, and all this stuff. I mean, it just becomes polluted, and people don't want to go. And unfortunately, like I said, the face of the Black church has been the ones that are well known, and it's just it's
Yeah,
being
1 o'clock.
And the reason why they're well known is because the
We
ones
got
that's
1
doing the right things, they don't go viral like
right.
the stuff when the bad churches. Because if
Well,
you
I'll
think
be at
about
1
over the
o'clock in the
last 10
morning.
years, like think about the stuff that's gone viral in
Who
churches
be here at
last
1
10 years.
o'clock?
It's the pastor that's telling everybody to close the door. Yeah, okay. It's the pastor.
He gonna be here at 1
It's
o'clock.
TD Jakes having a stroke on stage. It's Joel Osteen not opening his doors after the storm. You see what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
always the negative stuff that goes viral. But my church has ministries that go out and serve the community. That every month we have a community breakfast for everyone. That's not gonna go viral. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Well, you know what else went viral? You said you brought up TD Jakes when Tyler Perry laid hands on him.
Yep.
You see, I don't want to. I really wanted to talk about this in a nuanced way. I didn't want to be pointing out what he doing and he doing. What I really want to talk about is what should be happening. We see these sound bites of preachers and all that. All I'm asking, do you think the church should be the leaders of the community? Because I think the fact that the churches are broken, it reflects on the community. That's my opinion. Y'all could think I'm wrong, but when Dr. King, when they was in these streets, man, they was in these streets talking about real issues. They weren't just talking about the Bible. These folk were talking about freedom and you know what I'm saying? They was talking about laws and stuff like that. And I think this is where the church is losing the ears of the community, because they just talking about the Bible. I'm 55 years old. I've been knowing about the Bible since I was 12 years old. I don't have to keep hearing that. What are you willing to do to get people closer to God? That's what I want to talk about this subject about. What are people willing to do to get closer to God? What are churches willing to do to get people closer to God? How can you say your God is an almighty God when your community around you poor and broke?
Okay,
everybody broke. Everybody disgusted.
I got to answer what you just said. You said you was 55 years old. Okay, you're one person. Number one, and a lot of us. I'm one other person. So is DVP, and so is BT, and everybody else. Right. The thing is, though, is that these things wouldn't happen as much if you look at the way, if the way the world is right now, especially us in the United States, was going in the right path. So if it's not still going in the right path, we still have to preach those things.
I think
right?
you kind of miss. You're missing what I'm. You missing. I think you're missing what I'm saying. I'm not saying. I'm not saying don't preach the word. I'm just saying if that's it, this is all you want to talk about. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you're saying
who gonna be the boots on the ground? That's what I'm saying. The church is normally the boots on the ground. I'm gonna put it like that. You're supposed to be the boots on the ground. That's all I'm saying. That's why
I said the family is that's why I said the family is what it is.
And that's why I told you most families are broken.
Yeah, they are.
And what you
Most of
said,
them are.
you said that when the church come back in, so you keep coming back to the church. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead, DVD. I see you looking like.
I'm just listening.
Yeah, I just want to talk about this from a healing perspective. I don't want to talk about problems. I want to talk about healing. I want to talk about fixing the problem. And to me, I think the church got to be in the forefront, leading the charge on crime in our community. I mean, get into the community. You got 20 churches on one street. All 20 churches come together and let's get in these streets. Let's feed people. Let's talk to people. You know what I'm saying? You got to make contact to make impact. If you don't make contact with people, you ain't gonna never have no impact with them. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead, DVP.
If we're gonna be honest about the church, and everybody makes excuses for them, and I work for a couple, and I ask questions, with all the money that goes through the church's hands, I only know of one church that ever helped elderly people who are falling behind on rent. They would send them somewhere else, but you keep saying you're doing all this for the community. And I have no problem with what you want to do. I know bunches of churches who do outreach, want to go to Africa, want to go to Zimbabwe, but 2 blocks around the corner, you got homeless people. So when you were asking them to stand up and be somebody, you named a bunch of people, but their churches weren't what was got them. It was them. Because the churches are still money-making organizations. That's what they are. That's what they will always be, which is why in this new 21st century, why the church population is dwindling, because they can't keep scaring people in it. If you have sex, you're going to hell. They're losing a whole generation. So when do they want to help? When do they want to help? Because there's a time, again, you got to make choices. If you need this group of people to support you, then you got to do something to bring them there. You know, they do the food drives. That's a cute thing. But again, if y'all telling me y'all made 600 million last year, but my grandmama, you know, fell behind on her rent because she had an accident and the POTUS cut off Social Security or Medicaid, y'all couldn't offer her $300 or $400 a month until she got back on her feet and got paid. I don't see many churches doing that, stepping up for their tribe, but they keep wanting to tell us how we should do things. They'll tell you about collection. Hey, Sister Mary having trouble with her rent. Can we get all y'all to give some money? Well, then y'all 600 million in the green. Y'all can't afford to give Sister Mary $3,000. Y'all can't afford to loan Sister Mary $3,000 on a low interest loan. So it's hard for us to take them serious when we know what they're really not doing. It's hard to take them serious when the man up in the pulpit, 6 people know he's sleeping with somebody other than his wife. So we can't keep looking for a leader that's not there. Whether it's home, whether it's your circle, we have to look for real leaders who can help us when real times come. I appreciate everybody who want to pray. I really do. I'm not a Bible toter. I don't go for none of that, but I don't knock nobody who do it. But what I do knock is people who try to tell me what I should do. You know, so when this comes about, it's hard to get people like me who under the fence, some people who on the fence, when we ask you what you're doing, oh, we doing scholarships. We did 10 scholarships. So with $600 million, y'all did 10 scholarships, and they partial. They ain't even full. So tell me again how you help. Well, what are you doing with all this money you collect? Oh, Dan, look at that. The pastor got a new car. The first lady got a new car. Oh, look at that. They doing it. So it's hard to let them be that when they're showing us that they ain't no different than the man. They want our money. And if they say something we don't like, then we going to hell. If they say something we don't like, we're not supposed to challenge their authority. So some of this is what they do because we fail to realize that they are a business first. Mm-hmm. And when they got that charter, it's some things that once you learn about churches, certain things churches can't speak on or they lose their status.
Exactly.
And that's one of the things that we have to know. When we want them to stand up for certain things, by law, they cannot. But we don't know this because we're not educated enough in what it is, because we all want to say what's right and what's wrong. But as you said about something earlier, there's a rule book. There's a rule book that tells them what they can and can't do. Most of us ain't never read that rule book, but we want to tell them what they can and can't do.
I can't agree with a church being a business first. I know there's business of the church because you know why? Because there's business, because there's churches have mortgage, churches have light bills, churches have gas bills, churches have maintenance. And the government doesn't help them with none of that. They have to pay that on their own. And how do they get that money? They get it through donations from the congregation. Period. They're not getting any money from the government. They're not getting any extra money from nobody else, or no organization is actually paying the church's payroll. You know what I'm saying? And they got people that work for the church that got to get paid. You know, so of course they have to take care. There's a certain extent of business, but their business is saving souls. That's their number one business. You know, and any church that's not doing that or leading with that, they're doing it wrong.
Let me push back against you on that, because I hear what you're saying. They job is to save souls. I disagree. I disagree. Their job is to carry out God's mission, God's plan. To me, now, because there's a lot of people go to church who ain't saved because that can't be their mission. So your mission is to show God through you. Your job is to do the work of God. It ain't, you can't, because ain't no man save a man. Only God can save man. So I kind of feel what you're talking about, but I had to kind of like, this my opinion. This is what I think my opinion is. You know what I'm saying? I think only God can save man. Man can't save man. And I think this is where a lot of people miss it today. We think the church can save you. The church can't save. The church job is just to carry out what God wants them to do. It's the church job to make sure the community in line with God. The church should have, we shouldn't have to go to Walmart. Because if we got 20 stores on one street, why we going to Walmart? It should be a church on this. The churches should have a store house on that street. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I'm interested in fixing the problem. We can go back and forth about this church, that church. Go ahead, I hear you.
I was like, well, like you said, when we got on that subject, did all them hear did Jamal Bryant when he spoke on that?
No, I ain't had it to play. You got it?
Hold on. I'm seeking to hear this. This ain't in the.
I hear it.
Islam saw his potential. I wonder what would happen if the church would stop acting stuck up and go get our boys up in the corner and go get our young men up in the street and say there's still a space for you here. I ain't saying nothing.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to bring this, because you know what, me and Jennifer we've been talking about that, and it so happened I came across your video.
But you heard when he said, I heard everything y'all was saying, but you heard when he said in the end, he said still a space for you, right?
Yeah.
So all that y'all were just saying, it was like Jenny said, gonna take a lot of unity. He was saying there's still a space for you. So really, to me, he was saying like you just said, it don't need churches on every corner. But why we got a whole lot of preachers that ain't, it's like they don't have a place to go meet and say, let's go talk about some. Okay, after everybody raised they 600 million or 60 million, 40 million, 30, why they can't meet somewhere and say, hey, how can we help the people now? You know what I mean? So, because I always be preaching about, if you don't raise 600 million, you ain't bought no apartment and no houses that you can rent out. And church got to change too, like everything else changed. When we were growing up, it wasn't no internet. So we paying people who to get on the internet and preach to us, and they say, send me $25, and God said he gonna do this for you. Go in your room, go in your closet. I done seen pimps turn to preachers. I done seen prostitutes turn to preachers. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I done seen preachers preach, and all them, him and his family congregate, go to Golden Corral, and everybody else go back home. And so I done seen all sides of it, but when he said that, let's go get our boys off the corner, and we growed up going to that church in Bankhead when we were little. Now we probably don't go unless it's a funeral. You know what I mean? So they done turned us out so bad. I go into church right now. First thing I do, I look at the preacher and I be saying, "This dude look like he faking." I turn around and leave. It be done killed my whole Sunday because he just look like he preaching for money. You know what I mean? So it ain't no one time answer, but the same way with the civil rights leader and all the preachers, if we don't have a place that we can go sit down and meet and congregate, then we'll just keep doing this. And ain't no reason for no preacher to stop stop preaching for money. If he living life with it and living good, ain't no, and pimp ain't gonna stop pimping. You know what I mean? Until he get caught. So if you don't catch a preacher and call him out on it, he gonna keep doing it. But if when we in church, we don't even talk about unity stuff, and we listen at them hooping and holler. Then we walk back out the door, and they just like preaching. They need to call us together and say, "Hey, how can we help to fix the community?"
All right, let's kill one misnomer real quick. There ain't no preacher out there that's living lavish, that's millionaire, strictly off donations from the church. There's nobody out there that's doing that.
I ain't gonna
Like,
say that. I
you
know
look
some
you,
preachers
you look
that
at you
have
look at
nothing.
you look at dudes like TD Jakes and Joel Osteen and even Creflo Dollar. They don't take no salary from the church. They don't have to. You know, if they did take a salary, it was a small one back in the day, and then they've turned that salary into an empire, or they use that, or they
But
use
see,
their
it-
they done wrote books that created an empire. They do
Yeah, I
they
don't know
do
what he's
speed.
talking about. He just started off around rich people, preachers all. Cause Creflo went to Harper with us, didn't he? What his name
In
went to
West
school
Georgia,
with us,
Creflo been a
Lamar?
crook since day one.
what?
What the one name went to school with us? He didn't have no money just like we did.
I think you talking about Dreyfus or
Yeah, you know what I'm
some
saying?
other.
So them preachers started off at the bottom, didn't have no money. Ray, my preacher just got all that money from us in Etheridge, and he kept telling us every time he coming out, we got to keep the lights on, we got to keep the power on. You go to church by one Sunday, you pop up over there, the door closed, he gone back to Alabama. So I don't know what he's saying. They ain't you know what I'm saying?
So he gone back down.
He was gone. All of them standing outside the church like, bro, used to make us give twice sometime in here. Oh, the light bill was high this month. You know what I'm saying? I used to be like, no, and I believed in it, man. Like he was preaching. I was trying to get back in the word, but I mean, if you just read some preachers who was already rich, but I definitely ain't finna agree with him talking about they ain't never took no money. You know what I mean? Cause even that greater Levi, Joshua Williams, them were living good, and they were taking money and they were dividing money, man. And I had a sister was on the deacon board. They know how that money was being split out. So if you think a preacher ain't got his thing in order,
Well, I think that, like, just say if they weren't already rich before they became a preacher and a big time preacher where they have the congregations that's sending in all this money every week, 2-3 times a week, every month to the end of the year, just year after year after year. If they have these businesses that they're writing books, that they're investing money, that money probably came from all the donations. So in essence, people that have been in the congregation have kind of paid for their businesses that they
yeah.
have
That's what
developed.
I heard him say. He ain't never known nobody to take a salary. That throw me way off. Like
If a preacher makes 30,000, if a church gives him 30,000, and he's able to take that part of that 30,000 and then buy a rent property, and then buy another one, and then buy another one,
using the people money.
I think that belongs to the church.
Well, if he's using it for himself to put money in his pocket with people that have nothing to do with people he know in the community, where it's of help and not just money making, I don't see how it's serving the people. I just don't.
All right, so all right, his salary, isn't it supposed to go to his home and take care of his bills?
When they started having salaries, because I'm from little fat
Alabama.
I'm from little fat Alabama when they didn't have no salary. They just took a little bit out the pot for themselves.
Let me give you my opinion on that, man. And it's just my opinion. This is the opinionated show. I think what is it about? Is it about God, or is it about his ministry? And I think that's why a lot of pastors get it mixed up at. They say this is my ministry. No, this is what it is about. Though, what is your ministry built on? It's built on. It's a spiritual thing. It's built on what God wants, right? Is it about God, or is it about you? And I think a lot of pastors are making it about them. This is my ministry. You know what I'm saying? I built this ministry. God blessed this ministry. He didn't bless it for you to accumulate money. You know what I'm saying?
All right, Rob. So what do you think? Are you saying that every pastor should have a meager house that costs less than $100,000? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I think every pastor should live within their means. I think every pastor should live within their means.
All right. So all right. If a pastor lives within his means, is it okay for him to have a side business?
Yeah, but yeah, it's okay for him to have a side business, but you got to think everything that he got came from God, right?
Right.
This got to be how he looking at it. If you're a pastor, this got to be all my blessings come from God, right? If all your blessings come from God, how you make $7 million and you ain't putting nothing back into the community? That's all that's all I'm seeing.
Can I ask a question? Let me ask a question. Let me ask a question right quick. You saying all his blessings came from God, and this is my big issue with the church. How we know that? How we know the blessing didn't come from the devil who trying to tempt him? How was that discernment ever come about? Because I hate when we keep saying every blessing come from.
You know why?
We'll say,
know why?
Because
because you're taking it and you ain't doing God's work with it. You ain't feeding the people. You ain't housing the people. That's how you know if it comes from God's work. This is exactly the point. This is exactly my point. This is how you know it don't come from God, because you ain't doing nothing godly with it. That's how you know.
I get they saying God told them to get all the money and keep it for themselves. I don't, you know.
That's my opinion. That's my opinion, DPD.
I guarantee you that there's not a preacher out there that's a millionaire that doesn't give to the community. It wouldn't even be smart business to be like that. The optics wouldn't even look right. I mean, it wouldn't look right. I promise you. And I think
where the proof at? Well, show us some proof.
I can't prove a negative. You have to prove. You don't want. Y'all the one are charging these preachers with not doing nothing. Okay, go ahead and I mean, I guarantee you, it might be there might be an anecdotal anomaly out there with some preachers out there, gambling all his money away or prostituting his money away or whatever. But for the most part, these preachers that's doing well, they pay their tithes, they give offerings, they invest in the church, they invest in the community. That I guarantee you, the overwhelming majority of them do.
It's well known that Creflo Dollar don't help nobody who ain't showed their tax return and given 10%. He ain't helping nobody who ain't put that money in. It's well known. He only does. That's why Evander stopped dealing with him, because Evander gave Creflo a shitload of money. But as soon as he fell behind on his payment, Creflo, because Evander couldn't give up no money no more, and Creflo left him out. See, I hear what you're saying, and it may not be all of them, but it's enough of them who are crooked that ain't doing nothing unless other people foot the bill.
I don't rock with Creflo Dollar, but I guarantee you he has projects that he's invested in the community. I guarantee you.
Okay,
I mean,
since you gonna stand up for him, you prove it, because he ain't got none. He ain't got none.
I bet you go on the website. I bet you I can pull up on his website.
He may have some he promoting.
I ain't talking about what you putting on no website.
He ain't investing in nothing, BT.
I can put a fake non-profit on a website.
All right. Can you prove that? Can you prove that he's not?
Hold on. You just told that man he couldn't prove something, but you want to prove a statement that you said is false. You can't prove it's true, BT.
All right. So if I go on his website,
tell me something you already know. We can finna go looking for something.
I don't know. I don't live in Atlanta. I live in East Texas.
Name one in Washington D.C. or Tennessee who doing it.
I can name some in Houston, Texas. That's for sure. That's for doggone sure. I know Ralph West. He's done it. Robert Childers. He's done it. I mean, my brother. They invested in the community. Robert Childers built a neighborhood.
But they say, but let me say this: are they doing it as a body of Christ? Or are they doing like, oh, he over there doing his thing, oh, he over there doing his thing, that preacher over there doing his thing? But it's about one God. But this is about one God, and this is why I say I think the church need to be the leaders of the community, because the church is the only place where people go to take money and don't even ask no question. This is the only place where you can go. This is the only place where people go give their money and don't ask questions.
Lots of money.
So my point is, this is where the money is. This is how you fix the community. Because this is the only place that people gonna go and give their money without asking any question.
It's not about asking questions, because if it's already understood, you don't have to ask questions.
They don't ask questions because they feel like this is about, I'm giving to the body of Christ, and they don't want to question God.
And this is something I want to point out. And I've said this before, if I may. I've said this before. It even happens in the smaller churches. I have been in a church before where I know this girl, this young lady, she been in the church for years, faithful member. And tithes, offerings, all that. And the first time she got into a situation where she couldn't pay her power bill, they put her through the 3rd degree. They didn't even want to give her the money. She came to the church for help. And they was like, giving her the 3rd degree about why she couldn't pay it. You need to take our classes on how to manage your money. And it's like a power bill?
For the record.
Oh, okay, all right.
Let me say this for y'all before you go. For the record, I invited some pastors to come on. I text all the pastors I know. I emailed them. I saw them look at it because you see the little ball drop down. I know they looked at it because I wanted them to come on so they can hear the concerns of the people, so they can know. Because I think the church should be the leader in the community. In order to be the leader in the community, everybody got to be locking one step with God.
So we got
to start what God wants. What do God want you? What have you to do? You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
Say who? No, one came on earlier, but he had a meme. Pastor Anchor came on.
Let me buddy who said he in Houston. Let's let him speak for the pastor right now. Okay.
But he's not a pastor.
No, we're gonna let him speak for the pastor now because you saying you want the church to be the leader of the community. So he could come in and speak for the pastor and try to explain to us if he was a preacher, how would he come to us to get us to start coming back to church, and what would his message be? Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Because leadership comes from in the family, comes from the head, right? All right. The leadership in the community comes, and the leader is Christ. The Christ is the head, man is follower, and then the wife and the family, right? How else do you get that right? You get the instruction without going to the church. And I understand that people don't want to hear hitting over the head in the Bible and everything, but the church is the place where you can make the community better. Okay, how? Okay, congregation, fellowships. I mean, how many? I mean, you're right. We're divided as a people. We fight at the grocery store. We fight at the club. We fight it. I mean, do we fight at church? Sometimes, but for the most part, we're together at church. You see what I'm saying? That's where we need to come together at the church. That leadership that comes from church is going to lead the community in the right direction. And that's
it's supposed to be. That's the way. That's the way.
Man messes stuff up.
That's the way God ordained for it to be.
Right. But man messes that up.
Give us the message though. Why all us who keep saying we don't stop going to church and we don't stop believing in certain. Give us the message. Like if you were the preacher, like tell us something now. Like what a preacher should say to make all us come back and. That's what I'm saying. I know you were finna ask questions, but just try to think from a preacher's perspective.
From the preacher's perspective is that we need to the ministry is how you bring the community together. It really is. We want to be. It's all about uniting the community and making it better. If there's a problem with police, we need to get together and have a town hall with the police. How are you going to do that without leadership? Who's going to lead it? The church is going to lead it. That's who's going to lead it. Because why? I mean, just because Earl the mechanic, I'm not saying that he can't lead it. Sure, he could, but the one that has the voice of the people, that has the voice of the people, that have the people ear, are the leaders in the church. I mean, the leaders in the communities, even before the church. You know what I mean? I mean, outside the church.
But let me tell us why we should come back to church and start.
Let me answer that. I think the leaders. I think the church should be in the forefront, and this is how to get people back to church. Make contact with them. You got to make contact with people. Mm-hmm. You can't post a video preaching thinking you're making contact with real people. You know what I'm saying? Get in these streets.
Oh, you mean when they ring and you look at your ring doorbell and don't answer the door?
No, that ain't the same. No, when you get put in the work.
What
show
you
up to something.
Me?
Show up to something. Don't show up talking the same stuff that I heard.
What you gonna tell me? Don't read me no Bible verse. I'm asking you, what is the preacher gonna tell me?
Let's make the community better. Let's make the community better. The community is bad right now. Let's make it better.
I think
that's what they're gonna tell you.
So if a preacher with $6 million tell me that, I probably just start coming back to church and giving him money, and just start all over again.
You worried about the wrong thing. Don't give money. Come to church and give time.
So why when we get in the church, I ain't heard none of them say when the service over together, let's all just get together and make the community better. I ain't never heard that when I was in church.
Mentor kids. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of the messages that they're giving through services it's the same thing, like how to have faith. I mean, you don't even have to be a Christian to have faith.
What Pinky Wood said is get out and fellowship with the community.
Yeah.
As simple as that. Just get out and fellowship with the community. Stop going. No. Most Sundays they're in one place. Every Sunday in one place.
Oh, so you're right. On Sunday, because Sunday is designated for worship.
And that's all the time you see.
But on Saturday they having blood drives. On Thursday they having food drive. On Wednesday they have the Bible study. And then come on, man. It's not like they show up on Sunday, be there for 2 hours and be gone. That's all they do. No. They there all week.
Hey, I'm 55 years old. I don't even know a preacher right now. So I don't know where one of them came out at. He's not to my job, not to the community center, not to the park, not to the gas station. I ain't seen them come out and say, "Hey, brother, how you doing?" I'm a preacher, man.
Where do you live?
I'm from Bankhead, Cascade, Campbellton Road, everywhere.
All right. Where do you live right now?
Roosevelt Highway.
Okay, that's in Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so is there a community center there?
Yeah.
Okay, at that community center, there's no churches involved in there at all.
Oh no, not one church. Not even a smithereen of a church in there.
What's the name of that community? What's the name of that community center? I can look them up, and I promise you that you'll find some sort of religious leader there. I promise you.
Well,
it's a non-profit organization.
BT, do what I'm trying to say, BT. Just pull up on some people. Pull up on some people, man. That's all I'm saying. Pull up.
Are you gonna listen? Are you gonna receive it?
If you don't pull up, you'll never know.
You'll never know.
If you don't listen, let me say this. If you don't make contact, you'll never know you can make an impact.
I go to the church and listen. I go to the church and listen.
Man, on Saturdays, man, you drive through the hood, man. There's always a street service. Even the Catholic Church, the Mexican Catholic, they have the bazaars. They have all this stuff going on. I'm telling you, the people just drive past it. Y'all, you and your fancy trucks and stuff, and y'all just drive right past that stuff. Y'all drive past it, going 60 in a 30. DVP blasting rap music.
Let me share something with you, little bro. You see, Robert over there. Robert been going to church into the church and all up around the street. Every time we used to see Robert, we used to, man, what's wrong with your people? Why your people at the church ain't doing this? Why your people at the church? This man had to answer to us for years and years and years, have to defend preacher because we keep saying, he said, man, y'all don't come to them. Y'all don't. We do the same thing what we and you doing right now. We talk, we like, but they ain't talking about nothing. They reading us some Bible verses and ask for money.
Man, if you make a commitment for 3 months to a church, go to their Bible study, go to the service,
you doing that
3 times a week, 3 times a week, and then you'll see.
What his name is,
you don't want to be that way though, BT. The church supposed to make a commitment to the community.
Robert been going ever since he was 12. He in his 50 now. Now why I got to go 3 months to try to prove a point?
I mean, let me tell you something. I mean, people, because people look for excuses not to go to church. They don't look for reasons to go to church.
There go Robert right there. He been going since he was 12.
Okay. Do you still go to church, Rob?
I ain't been to church in a minute though. Ever since COVID, I ain't been back. Because
look what church done did to him.
No. That's not church doing something here.
It's finding the right place. And I think we have our own personal journey with that because I used to be, I guess some people would have called me a holy roller. I was always in church, heavily involved. When I say heavily involved, every Sunday, in the evening, in the morning, every week, Bible study, in the choir, women's ministry, all that stuff. deaconess, all of that. I did that for years, on top of years. And I don't go to church right now. And that would
BT.
surprise a lot of people, but
You hear that, BT?
but it's a reason for that is because I've had to go within, have, just focus on my personal relationship with God. And at some point, if I find another church that I think will be the church for me, then I will go. But right now, I just haven't found one. But the thing is that it's been difficult, and I've seen the business side of it. I've seen the dirty side of it. I've seen a lot of things that turned me away from it.
Okay.
And
All
it's
right.
not that I don't believe in God. I believe in his word. I do know people are not perfect, but if you're going to be a leader, you got to have the wherewithal to have people be there where they can feel spiritually, not like emotionally, but spiritually feel like they're in the right place where they can grow. We're supposed to win souls. It says that in the word.
Right.
So we're winning souls. We're not trying to make people, do anything. People are going to do what they want to do anyway. But you're supposed to encourage, help, all that stuff, and still branch out into the community. And then on our own, as we have our personal relationship with God, we do what we need to do in the community. And it, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I get it. I'm saying this because I'm being honest. I haven't been to church probably since COVID either. And I lived in the church pretty much.
All right. I think what we're doing is okay. And I'm not accusing you of anything like there's a lot of reasons why people don't go to church. Some people, it's too inconvenient for some people. Some people are church hurt. A lot of people are church hurt. And I think that's the number one reason why people don't go is because
I like that.
and then I think a lot of people put way too much stock in the pastor. The pastor is a man. He's not Jesus. He's not going to be perfect. He's not going to do everything right. He's going to do some things wrong. He might do some things that's malicious. But like what I'm saying is but that's not our job. Our job isn't to be to have the pastor be our barometer for what we serve God. We're supposed to be doing what we're supposed to be doing what we're supposed to do. Because like a guy asked me a long time ago. He said, BT, would you give your church your money to your church knowing the pastor squandering the money? So I said yes. He said why? I said why would you do that? Why would you let that pastor take your money like that? Because I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And then he's not doing what he's supposed to. He's gonna have to answer for that. But guess what? I'm gonna be blessed for it, for what I did, regardless. Period.
You're gonna be homeless. You're gonna be homeless and screwed up. Homeless, screwed
How
up.
am I homeless? I'm not homeless now.
So I'm gonna say this. I want to say this.
I'm not homeless.
I want to say this. Like for me personally, I didn't have church hurt and all that stuff, but those are valid reasons that I know people have, stopped going. I saw a lot of things that I felt that I didn't like. It was a lot of manipulation. I promise you, I understand men are they can mess up, but at some point, if you are given that position, you have to have some type of standards that are spiritually in you to qualify to be in that place. It doesn't mean you're not going to do something wrong sometimes. It doesn't mean that. It just means that if you're acting as wild as people in the world and more, how is somebody supposed to learn from you? You know what I'm saying? Like we're supposed to every day learn on our own with our one-on-one walk with God. But if you're in a church, a leader has to be fit to be a leader. Let
me speak to that.
Hold on. I'm gonna get this out and then I'm gonna give you the floor. It's like if you have a trainer and you going to work out every week with them, but they sitting around, they got a gut, they eating cheeseburgers and fries. You ain't gonna listen to them because you looking at them like you ain't even doing what you're encouraging me to do.
Let me say this. We would listen to them if we saw them put in the work.
That's what I'm saying.
So
all right, but
if we see a preacher putting in the work in the street, hey man, he's smoking weed. He putting in work. I don't care about what he doing. He putting in work.
It's not about following.
It's not about the pastor itself. It's about are you putting in God's word?
Right. And I've never put my faith in the pastor. The church that I went
but you made the thing
let me tell you something. Every complaint y'all got, you can say that about the grocery store, you still go there and eat, and work and eat at
Come on.
the job. That's still the job. You still go to work. You say that at your school, you still go there to learn. I mean, there's
when I go to the grocery store and I get in my money, I'm getting a product. I'm getting something food. I'm getting something tangible.
What if you're getting something that's supposed to be healthy, but it's bad for you? But the grocery store is telling you it's good for you, and you still go get them Fruit Loops every week, Rob.
That's not a good argument.
We got to look at the position. If you're a coach, you're a teacher, you're whatever you are, you're going to create the best people from that to grow, to be better people, whatever that profession is. And we're talking about spirituality. We're talking about, people having a sense of how to be, so we can be the light that the church is supposed to be, helping us to see, to be, beyond our personal walk with God. So I don't put my faith in a man. I never have like that. I never have. I've always just understood that how are you going to keep people coming in when you just collecting money, but then you doing all this stuff, creating havoc in the church. You sleeping with the you sleeping with the soloists. I'm just saying this. I'm not saying this about character only. Just let me make my point. What I'm saying is that to be a leader in the church, to get people to hear you about community and helping, you got to have some type of character. At some point, people don't want to deal with a lot of your personal issues. That is just it just convolutes the whole situation of you trying to help people be better. I think
you got to show up. You got to show up.
You do have to show up, and you got to do the work.
I got this message up for you. He said, "Come, John, come see me Sunday at my church." And this thing I'm talking about. Come see about me. How can
he serve his congregation?
About me,
how can he serve his congregation and go to everyone's houses at the same time?
I'm not saying.
See, the problem is you're holding the church. You're holding the church to the standard that you're not holding everything else to. Your boss sleep with his secretary.
We talking about the church.
He sleep with his secretary, and he got a family at home. But you still go to. But when he tell you to go do that task, yes, boss, and go do it. But see what I'm saying?
Spirituality, though. This is about spirituality and
you're right.
Morale and good character.
If the pastor's not perfect, you can still serve God and do what you're supposed to do, and get what you need out of it.
I know. I'm not saying you can't mess up.
Let me go.
I'm not saying you can't mess up. I'm just saying if you look in the word really quick.
In a while. You got to allow him to speak. You want to say something?
Oh my gosh, I must be quiet.
Let BT, if you don't mind, Lamar, y'all, let me try to speak like if I was the preacher then, and I want to get all y'all when y'all come to my church, and I say, and I do the preaching, and I say, hey, listen, after church, let's all get together. We want to check on all the elderly ladies, all the children, and let's see some of the money we've been raising, can we put together and start putting some stuff together, so when y'all come to church, you'll know when I collect tithes, I pay the bills and stuff. I try to put some money in the community, and then we'll move forward like that. Can a preacher say something like that and stick on those words and things will be better?
Yes. And the preachers that do that out there.
That's what I was asking you earlier, though.
They can do that.
See, BT, you keep talking about there's preachers that do it. When people, it's the body of Christ. It's not that preach up the street. When you talk about the body of Christ, you're not talking about one preacher. You're talking about the body of Christ. They're not working in unison. They're not working in unison.
You're not going to get all of it.
It's becoming a competition. And this is what people see in the competition. Because people say, come to my church. Oh, you come to my church. It shouldn't matter what church you go to if everybody's talking about the same God. If it's one God, everybody should be on the same line. Same thing.
Like the Methodist, let me tell you something. The Methodist church, they just lost like 700,000 churches. You know what I'm saying? You can't. You're not only even under one denomination. You're not gonna have everybody on one accord. So you think that all denominations they gonna hold hands, be together. They all gonna go to church at 8:00, be at 12:00, and then they meet up and they had a church meeting of all of them, and then they gonna have their clan and put out the. No, it doesn't work like that. It
I got
doesn't
a
work like that.
question.
People on different schedules, on different accords.
I got a question for all of y'all. Why do you think people are not going to church as much? And
Church
like,
hurt. He
Church
just
hurt.
said it. Church hurt.
Church
but
hurt.
but in what way though? Like how are people getting hurt in the church?
A lot.
I'm hurt from all the lies and conspiracy. Oh, let him go, because he ain't. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Because a lot of these churches are still old school and want to keep telling people what they're doing is going to send them to hell. Don't nobody want to keep going and being chastised. If they won't be honest that people are having sex, if they keep telling these young people, the up and coming, that they're going to hell for, don't nobody want to hear that, and damn sure nobody going to pay for it. So until they adopt the real world mentality, I hear what the book say, but at some point you got to change. That book was written way back then, before the internet, before sexual freedom, before equal rights and all that. At some point, you got to talk to the people that you want. All people ain't coming no more. They're sick. So all these young people who are looking for something, remember when Kirk Franklin came out, they got mad because they didn't like his music. But what did Kirk Franklin do? Kirk Franklin brought a younger group to the church, and then the pastors ran them out. Oh, because y'all going to hell. All you single mothers, y'all going to hell. Who want to keep hearing that? Tell me something else. Tell me how to prosper. Talk to me about stocks. Talk to us about money. Talk to us about something else, but everything is going to do to get me sent to hell.
You go.
And too many churches kept,
Yeah.
they weren't teaching us. The Browners, if you ever go to one of the Browners churches, and I went, most of the time they got a speaker there. He's giving a message. They don't talk a whole lot about the Bible. They'll start off with it, but they did one, and I'm gonna let y'all go. But they did one, and it was geared toward men who didn't have custody of their children. And the guy said, "Hey, my daddy, who I hated because I didn't know a lot about it, when he died, he left me a fishing box. Inside that fishing box was letters that he had been writing me his whole life. So I'm telling you, gentlemen, if you don't have custody of your child and you having issues with the baby mama, don't sweat it. Get you a fishing box and write them letters. When you die, let that go to your son." That hit a lot of men because we didn't know what to do. We didn't know how to express our hurt. But when now you telling me I can write a letter and leave this to my son, my daughter, so when I die, they'll know that I really didn't hate them. So they teaching lessons, life lessons. They're not teaching scripture over and over and over and over again. Don't nobody care about Job no more. Don't nobody care about Aesop and none of this partner of the river shit no more. Give us something where we can become better people. Most churches don't want to do that because they're not adapting to the new crowd.
I don't think y'all go to church enough. Real talk. I would say that.
That was his opinion.
That
was his opinion. Now I wouldn't go as far as saying about Joe, but I get what he's saying. You got to.
That's exactly what goes on in church. What he's saying.
I work at a church every week, so I'm there every week because they pay me. I listen to what they saying. I have worked 3 churches. I go to them. I ain't telling you how I feel. I'm listening. And then when the young people don't come back, I'm listening to what they saying when they walking out. They don't like being chastised over and over again. Nobody wants to keep being told they're a failure.
They probably feel condemned, and people should not feel condemned. Right?
The church ain't gonna never. They ain't gonna never co-sign sex before marriage. They're not gonna do that.
Yes, they will. I've been to 2 that did it because he understands reality.
He said it's okay to have sex before marriage.
He said, I'm not finna sit here and tell y'all that y'all going to hell. This is what's going on. That's why he got a younger crowd coming in, because these single mothers, they want guidance and leadership. They don't want to keep being told that they sinners and they going to hell.
It's a way to do it, though. It's a way to do it. That's what I'm gonna say.
How is that any different than telling them it's okay to steal? Hey, if you steal, it's okay as long as it's for
stealing
a good
is not
reason.
a natural urge. Stop playing.
You ain't telling they ain't telling nobody it's okay, man.
Natural urge.
They telling everybody they know it. I know it's going on. You know what I'm saying?
It's a way to do it. It's just delivery is everything.
God don't uncover you. God covers you. He don't uncover you. He don't uncover your wrongdoing. He covers you, man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's a way to do it. You know, I think delivery is everything. You know, when you have preachers that are just like, you walk in the door, you've had a bad Friday night, you may have did a bunch of stuff, and then you hear the preacher talking about what, you know, you come up in here and you doing this, you done did this last night. That'll turn anybody off. I get it.
Right.
I get it.
That's the church hurt we talking about. Pastor talk about how it's wrong that you're shacking, and you feel like he's talking directly to you because you're living with someone. I mean,
but who are you? Who are you to tell somebody they wrong for shacking? That's not your job.
The Bible says that.
The Bible says who word this is in the Bible. It's that God's Bible. God do the chastising. You don't. What kind of man?
So what kind of message?
As
So
a man,
what
as
message?
a man, how can I tell you, BT, that something you did wrong is wrong? Who the hell I am? What am I doing?
Hey, can I give a testimony right quick?
That's a message from God.
Let me give a testimony from the last preacher I ever listened to. When me and my second wife was going through it, we went through the little marriage counseling. And y'all know how most people feel about divorces and stuff. His wife, the first lady, she came to me and she said, you know what, you seem like you're a really good man, and it hurt my heart to say this, but you need to leave that woman. I cannot in good faith tell you to stay. Whereas other was like, oh, you got to stay, you got to work through this, you got to work through that. At some point, the pastor said, hey, this is my second wife. I got married and got divorced. I was with the wrong woman. Every woman is Mrs. Right. You just got to find yours. And sometimes you get it wrong because we're human and we make mistakes. See, that's the kind of shit that hit with people because you make mistakes and you can admit them out loud. So now I ain't got to feel bad about wanting to get divorced because he got divorced. Because then we're all human. So quit trying to make me work through something that's making me miserable. So we people like me want to hear the reality, not what this book say. I'm gonna go to hell. Oh, you got to keep trying. You got to keep trying. Why I got to keep trying? What got me here was misery. So you saying I should stay miserable? So when she came and told me that, hey, we was friends until she died because I know she didn't want to tell me to leave my wife. But she told me in no uncertain terms, this therapy ain't gonna work for her, and you don't deserve this. So yeah, I'm gonna tell you, you gotta go. My husband don't want to say it, but I'm telling you. Because you seem like so I bonded better because they weren't sitting there trying to give me scripture or nothing. Real life is real life. And this real life don't match nothing back when the book was written or what people was going through. And that's how, as I said, that's how we get the testimonies. Because when he explained to me the Miss Right theory, every woman is Mrs. Right. You just got to find yours. Every man is Mr. Right. Jenny got to find hers. And along the way, guess what we're going to all do? We're going to all make mistakes. Most of us ain't with the first person we ever slept with because we're learning. But hell, according to some of these fire and brimstone, we all going to hell because we slept with somebody for pleasure because it's a natural thing, not stealing, BT. No. So okay. Don't nobody want to keep being chastised and criticized for making mistakes when everybody keeps saying, oh, we're all human, ain't none of us perfect. So if we ain't perfect, why are you holding me to a perfect standard?
Nobody's holding you to a perfect standard. Okay, if you ask any preacher, they'll tell you that like when you walk down the street and there's a bump and then you trip over it, that's what a sin should be like. It shouldn't be like, hey man, I'm a sin down here because my pastor understands that I'm just gonna miss. I'm not perfect. I'm just gonna miss. It doesn't work like that. They tell you, yeah. If you've done bad things in the past, okay, put that in the past, repent for it, and then move forward. But don't make the same mistakes going forward. That's what that's what preachers are telling you about, and they tell you about that in the stories of the Bible. Everybody did something great in the Bible. Was all of them was flawed. Every one of them were flawed. Noah, David, Paul used to persecute Christians. You know, everybody did some with some flaw, but going through God and seeing them learning God's word and what God's plan for them, they end up going on to doing stuff that's great. You see what I'm saying? And that's what the preacher is. That's the message he's trying to convey to you. Yeah, you might not be on the right path right this second. That's why you're here, because you done fell off the path. You know, but you just don't think that your life over with, or don't think you're necessarily going to hell. You can still turn it around and do great things. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
I think both of y'all just said the same thing in a way.
Well, this is what I'll just allow me to say this really quick. It truly is about delivery, because when you are telling somebody about to doing the right thing, it's not that you're telling them because they're just perfectly going to just stop. Oh, I know I'm supposed to do this, so let me stop doing that. No, it's about a growth process for some people. Some people it happens quicker than others, but it's about how you present it. You present the truth of what is right to do to bring conviction of heart. And then, like the word of God says, love is patient. You walk people through it. But when you are just hammering on people and making them feel like they're just the worst person in the world, well, we've all sinned, right? That's condemnation. Nobody should feel condemned. So again, it's about delivery. People should know what's right to do. Yeah, we all came here messing up. had sex before we got married, all that stuff. Majority of us have. So in those senses, you don't want to keep living that way. So you get to a point where the people who are assigned to your life, they're patient with you. Love is patient, love is kind, bears all things. You work through to get to your place of being the way you should be. Because we all know sin, it makes us, it hurts us, it hurts other people. Look at the news. So you do need to know what you shouldn't do. You have people killing people because they slept with somebody's wife. You have to know what to do. It's just how it's delivered. You can't just be making people feel like crap when they leave the church like, I can't never get it right. And but you also too want to know, like I say, the truth and have a sense of, I need to do right. I need to. And you pray that you're at a church where people are going to love you through your process. And that's it. Nobody should be feeling like they can just do whatever they want, but just the patience has to be there as they're learning, because we're all born into it. We all have messed up, every last one of us.
Right. Do you know who Joel Osteen is, right?
Yes.
All right. Do you know the biggest knock on him, besides of how much money he makes? The biggest knock on him is that he doesn't talk about the wages of sin. All he talks about is prosperity. And the reason why, and the reason, and he probably has the biggest congregation in the United States, and that's because he doesn't. It doesn't offend people. So like when the God tells preachers to talk about the wages of sin, and then when they talk about it, and the people that are actually doing what the preacher's talking about, it feels like you're condemning them, you're beating them down, you're doing this, you're singling them out, you slamming them, you're coming off the top rope on them, and that's not necessarily the truth. It's because or what it is it's basically he's trying to get the message out to you on what could happen if you continue going down that path. And that's how a lot of people get church hurt, is because they keep because they're hearing about what they're doing wrong, and they're convicted. They are convicted, and then they end up stop coming to church.
I think it's not about that. It's about who are you. Who and I mean, people be talking about Geno Jennings. He get on there. He talk about Creflo Dollar. Now, if Geno's not perfect, I think you should tell the people what your sins are. What are your sins? You see, it's easy for us to point out everybody else's sins, but it's hard for us to take what we doing. This is why God say man shouldn't judge other men. We shouldn't be judging men
because we ain't perfect.
So who is you to say? So who is a pastor to call you out? You know what I'm saying? Who is a pastor to call somebody out? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying, and I think that's what DP people saying. You know what I'm saying? Don't call me out. You a sinner too. You ain't perfect either.
Right?
Don't be telling me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a way.
But anyway, y'all, we had the party. We way over 9 o'clock, so we in the party comments, man. So everybody get a shot, man, to say what you got. Everybody say whatever y'all heard today, man. Whatever y'all want to talk about, man. You know what I'm saying? You got the flow. Who going first, man? We ain't had nothing to eat. Rob, who you taking pictures of me, man?
We gentlemen. Jenny get to go first.
I'm trying to put your show on my Facebook.
Appreciate
it, my brother. Jenny going last, man. Who going first?
Okay, I'll go ahead and go. All right, people, don't lose your faith in God or God's plan. All right. If you fell away from church, go ahead and work on finding a new church. You can go to it'll probably take you less than 2 months. You can go to a different church every Sunday for 2 months. See what they're about. Check out their websites. Check out their ministries and what they're doing. Don't let what's viral on social media stop you from stop you from doing what you're supposed to do and losing your faith in God. You know what I'm saying? So basically, don't let people's anecdotal stories, the stories of what they done heard over here, what they heard over there. Oh, go check it out. Go check it out, and then get involved once you start going to church. Don't just be a bench member. Don't just show up on Sundays and give $1 and then just leave. Find a ministry, to join a ministry, be committed to it. All right. It takes what, 90 days to create a habit? Make it happen. Make it happen. And then I promise you, your heart will your heart will fill with joy, and you'll live a better life because of it. Trust me.
All right, BT man, appreciate you coming on, my brother.
Anytime.
Hey, BT should start a cyber ministry and preach the word.
I believe you think about starting a church.
I'm not a preacher. I'm just a servant. That's all.
All right now.
Hey man, appreciate you coming on, my brother.
Yes.
All right.
Hey man, hey, hey, them Rockets trash, man.
Man, we ain't gonna talk about that. We ain't gonna talk about that.
All right, man.
Hey, I'm glad I stopped through today. I had a little free time and you sent me a quick invite. So that's all I gotta do. So you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you what I told you before, Rob. Keep doing your thing. When I do get a chance to see you, you're doing good, even though sometimes you be drinking too much. But I'm glad you got Jenna there to keep you on the straight and narrow, because you know what I'm saying, you need a good sidekick. But you know, I'm gonna try to catch up with you, Mo. I might not be able to come on, but I'm gonna try to catch up with you, Mo. And I appreciate you.
Hey man, appreciate you, my bro.
Yes. Good to see you.
And tell everybody, man, tell folk what you do, man. Tell them about your show, man. You do a podcast yourself. I'll be catching. You don't let me on, but I watch you though. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't that tired. You know what I'm saying? I'll watch you even though you don't let me on. You know what I'm saying?
But stop, you ain't never when I be saying who want to come on, you don't say nothing because you come in and wave and leave. But just remember now, I work in California now, so I don't do every Wednesday no more, because when I'm out of town, the whole time difference is too late for me to do. But I do a Random Thoughts with DVP on Wednesday. But let me know when you want to come on, Rob. You know what? Forget you, Jen. Let me know when you want to come on, because I got something I need some women who have their own mind to speak on. And if you got to bring the other dude, you can, Jenny. But the invitation is for you. But I'll let you bring the other dude.
Now she come on. Now she come on to speak her mind. Don't be trying to tell her what's on her mind ain't right. You know what I'm saying?
I don't. It's her mind. Her mind.
Gotcha.
But I need the independence. But we'll talk again.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Tell Trina I said, hey, man.
I don't deliver messages with you no more. We ain't friends. Me and Jenny friends. Me and Trina friends. Ain't nobody talking to you, Robert.
But I can't be Trina friend. I can't be Trina friend.
You ain't even Jenny friend. So no, you ain't nobody's friend.
All right,
don't do your part inside, brother. Be safe out there.
All right, man. Take it easy, man. Right. Appreciate it. Rocco.
Yeah, man. I want to thank you. You know, my schedule be hectic, man. I sometimes have bad headaches. Can't see that good. Don't like to stare in the screen. But the message was put out real good. I think what we did today is what we need to always do. Just get on here and talk and dialogue. And that's why I was trying to tell BT. If we could get together and we go to church, and if I ever run into a preacher, even though I'm not a preacher, I'm gonna try to preach that message and say, hey man, if you come at us this way and let us walk with you and let us help you sow the seed, then you can find us and put us back in the good graces with Christ and God and the church and stuff. But as everybody out here going through a thing, man, we'll just keep on getting on every day, whenever, every week or whatever, we'll bring it up. And when y'all leave out here today, you meet a preacher, you meet somebody, you tell them, once they meet a preacher, that's what they need to have a conversation with them about.
All right, my brother. Appreciate you coming on. I see you down there in LaGrange every day now, man. You know what I'm saying?
Trying to start.
I see Bankhead, Rockhead, the street legend. Got street legend tagged on. I guess he could have. All right, y'all. Listen, y'all. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all watching. We appreciate y'all commenting, and we just thank y'all for sharing, man. We give y'all a hand.
Yes. Appreciate all of it.
We appreciate all of it.
I saw some funny stuff. I was trying to laugh. Oh my gosh, I wanted to say something so bad, but I was like, let me stop.
And my take on it, man. I just think the black church is. I just think the black church is should be the leaders in the community. I really think these churches need to come together, man, and really attack the issues in the community. Because, you know, when you're a part, it's like this. When you like this, you ain't got no power. When you all like this, you ain't got no power. My church is it seems like everybody worrying about their own congregation. Come to my church. And this is how y'all live. But once y'all come together, like Dr. King, Abernathy, William, all of them, they march together. They march together, and it became and it's more powerful when you come together. So y'all try to encourage y'all church leaders to team up with other churches, man, and make it bigger and make it bigger and better. You know what I'm saying? Team up with other churches and make it bigger and better, because you can do more together than you can do apart. That's my take on the church. You know what I'm saying? So,
and I agree with you.
And for the record, y'all, I tagged everybody. I told y'all to tag y'all pastors. So I didn't want this to be about people talking about the church, because I really wanted to be a bridge between the community and the church. So the community can see where the pastor's at, and the pastor can see where the church is, and you come in the middle. It's like a bridge. You ain't gonna never come together until you bridge that gap, man. And the gap is widening. The gap is widening between the community and the church. That's obvious. So you can keep trying to be good on your own, or you can team up with somebody and be more powerful, and then attack the community and the issues in the community. That's my take on it. So
I agree with you. It's a huge task, but I think if we individually truly just search ourselves and see what we can do, I mean, that's all we can do. And if everybody does that, then we can see something happen for the better. I just think it's a big issue. But if individually we need to just search ourselves and pray. I mean, prayer does make a difference. You'd be surprised at how, if everybody's praying for this type of unity, we may see something change without it, being one man's struggle. So
I agree with you, but I'm gonna say this: faith, you can pray all you want to, and you can have all the faith you want to, but if you don't put in the work,
right,
it's gonna be dead.
Right,
it's gonna fall on them. So, in saying that, what I'm saying, if the churches don't reach out to the people,
right,
you can't say to people you can't reach out to them. You don't reach out to them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to make contact to make impact. That's all I want to say.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we appreciate y'all tuning in. We love y'all. And guess what?
Ain't nothing y'all can do about it.
Y'all can't do nothing about it. So until next Tuesday, 7 o'clock, if you listen, like I said, if y'all got a business or something y'all want to talk about, if y'all want to talk to y'all pastor about what we talked about, and we can bring your pastor on there, we can talk and we can talk from a pastor perspective. Today you heard the street perspective. You know what I'm saying? So I would love to hear pastors talk, man. But it seems like they don't like to be, I don't know, I'm not going to assume, but it seems like they don't like to be challenged. They don't like to be challenged with real people in the street, because they take it as criticism of them. But it's not criticism of them. It's criticism of how the church is operating. And God, it's a God thing with me. You know what I'm saying? You can control the building, but you supposed to be. This supposed to be about God. If it's about God, don't nobody care nothing about what you're talking about. Right. If it ain't about God, it ain't about nothing. So with that being said, we'll see y'all next week, y'all. We love y'all again. You can't do what?
Ain't nothing y'all can do about it.
Peace.
Bye.